Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to another live stream with me, 320 Sim Pilot. And today we're taking our Simwings support A320 NEO in Microsoft Flight Simulator from Paris down to Alicante. I hope you're all doing very well. I hope I've set up this stream properly. I've got it wrong so many times. There we go. No, it looks like it's just about working. So yeah, great to see you all here. Thank you all for coming along. And of course, Simwings support, I've talked about it before on the channel. But today they are opening up their applications again, so I wanted to, they asked me, and they are running a bit of an event with lots of streamers flying in the Simwings livery, so I was more than happy to do that, and also happens to fit in with our Sunday afternoon streams. It's been a bit of a while, so yeah, excellent stuff. So here we are in the livery. I really like it actually. It's a very smart livery. I'm a big fan of that sort of shade of grey. We're going to set off from Paris very shortly. The airplane's powered up, almost ready to go, but we haven't loaded in the route yet, so we'll do that, taxi out and get ourselves down to Alicante. It's a lovely day. This is live weather and live time for once, although as you guys know, I may change my mind on that as things go on. We'll see if we can want to land in the dusk. It might be light enough. Oh look, there's another Simwings over there. Excellent, a few more have arrived. Wow, that's a busy terminal. I didn't think there were so many aircraft. So what have we got? We've got a couple more Simwings. I can see an A2000 over there. The great thing in Microsoft Flight Simulator is loading in. If you just install liveries you like, that's all you ever get to see. So it's been quite convenient. The more I get to see Air2000 and so on reappear, absolutely. Yeah, so fantastic. Here we go. So jumping into the chat. Good to see you all here. I see it's been very active as usual before we even get started. But yeah, Groza, good to see you. Tom Corbin, I hope you're doing well. And Ed Haslam, of course. Thanks for coming along. James Cooper, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, the route is now on the Discord. And Richard B's put it in there. Thanks for that, Richard. The bot should come to life soon, and you should be able to get the route off of the bot if you need it. Howdy, good to see you, Richard V. Thanks for coming and moderating. Chickpoint as well. Elitist Magic, I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. And Victor Tango, thanks for coming and moderating. Jose as well. Good to see you. Wild Womble. All the so many classic names. Great to have you all here. I know it's been a little bit of time. A couple of videos have gone up, but yeah, we haven't streamed for I think about a week now actually. Lauren V, good to see you. Deep Future as well. And Kai, I hope you're doing well. Kai, Isaac, Vicky, good to have you all here. Marcel Dupree, good to see you again. And Aviaman, of course. Aviaman, one of the co-founders, along with Dougal McTavish of the Simwing support. And Dougal, good to see you. Dougal here as well. Dougal saying it's a fine day in the UK. It is indeed. It's a roasting hot day. So I've got the windows open, but the room where my computer sits is pumping out. Well, the computer's pumping out hot air like mad, so I'm heating it up nicely. So yeah, but yeah, Dougal likes delivery. Absolutely, I agree. I think it's a really nice one. And we'll talk a bit more about Simwings once we get underway. Obviously, a bit of a later start today, so we'll make sure we get underway fairly soon. Right, I'm going to just scroll through the chat a little bit. Dave Guymer, good to see you. Alaska 559, good to see Alaska 559, another member of Simwings. Elitist Maggie, I think I've already said hello to. Nick as well. And Bradley, great to see you guys here. Right, I think, what did I miss there? I think that was a subscription. I think good. Thank you for the subscription. And that brings me on to my next point actually before we get going. To those of you who are here, but I will repeat this throughout the stream. Some people very kindly donate to my channel during the streams. That is on like normal. If you donate money through super chat, it doesn't always happen, but if you choose to, that will go to my channel. I couldn't think of a way in time. I'm sure there's a better way of doing fundraising that would work, but anyway, so and the standard super chat will end up at my channel because that's just the way super chat works. But what I have done is, if you want to donate to the Simwings group, and we'll talk about why you might choose to, then the link is in the description, and you'll be able to donate there. But I haven't got any alerts or notifications set up, so it won't show up on the stream. I'm just not that good at streaming. I'm sure there's a way to do it, so hopefully in the future. And I know other YouTubers like Alaska559 have done that before in the past. But anyway, there we go. So let's jump into the flight deck. Out the drone. There we go. Nope. Should have been set up better. Oh, great. There's a good view. Staring at the feet. Right, so it's a lovely day. High pressure. QNH is 1024. The plane is powered up and ready to go, but we're not on the APU just yet. I believe they've added some APU blur effects, actually, so let's fire that up now. Also, if we're boarding soon, we want to get some fresh air running through the cabin, of course. We all love fresh air these days. It's our favourite thing. We're waiting for Hayden J. Robbins to arrive as well. Excellent. Kono, so Simwings are a group that run by Dougal and Aviaman, and they very kindly help out people who otherwise can't get into flight simulation by providing computers to them or flight simulator equipment. That's essentially what happens, and the big news today is that applications are reopening today, and I'll provide a link to the video describing that in more detail. So if you're part of the community but you know, struggling financially or can't get into the hobby as you'd like, there could be a chance that they could help you out. Really nice cause. James Cooper, thanks so much for your £10 donation, James. Always supporting the channel a lot. Thank you so much. James says, I made this one flying along under Skyway's call sign starting at W6. I hope you're well. Thank you so much, James. Really appreciate it. It's incredibly generous as always. Thank you for supporting the channel. Yeah, huge terminal. I should have told you guys where I was starting from, but we'll all find each other, I'm sure, at some point throughout the flight. But yeah, thanks so much, James. Really appreciate it. As ever, you support the channel far too much. Victor Tango says, the hot air out of your PC is actually cooler than the wind I used to have at this time of year in Bologna. There you go. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine it is. And Takis, good to see you from Crete. Well, for once, Takis, it is warm here as well. So yeah, we can be happy with our temperature in the UK. So let's let the APU warm up a little bit. But if we jump outside, I'm hoping, yes, there it is. There is finally the exhaust out of the APU blasting away. So that's quite nice to see. I saw there was a couple of videos about it. Yeah, the APU exhaust on the 320 points straight out the back. So when you do your walk around as you go near the tail, it's obviously very noisy if the APU is up and running. I hope you guys can see it in the stream. You know, we've had a few issues with streaming Microsoft Flight Simulator recently. I'm hoping I've solved them for today. But yeah, it blasts out the back. And surprisingly, you know, you can walk around here. If the wind is in the right direction, you can sometimes get that exhaust blasted onto you. Not with any power, but just get the sort of exhausty smell of a jet engine. But yeah, nicely to have that modelled. Excellent. Things are moving on, as always, with the fly-by-wire mod. Right, let us jump back into the cockpit then. Turn on the APU bleed, get rid of that ground power, and let's load up the MCDU. So first of all, I'm going to go to the ATSU, AOC, do RNet request, and hopefully it's all here. It's been a little while. Our last stream of Microsoft Flight Simulator failed. There we go. And we reverted to X-Plane, which was very good fun, but yeah, a bit of a strange one. So now let's load in the performance and weight and balance. We want a block fuel of 7 tons. I'm just going to up it as usual because I don't trust the numbers at all because I know the mod is constantly changing. So we'll just load that one on at 9 tons. And we'll load on the payload as it is, about 158 passengers, all very nice. And I think that's it. We can grab, we don't need the weather request, we'll grab an ATIS for Paris. It's lovely weather over Europe, as you can imagine. Lima Foxtrot Papa Golf, Charles de Gaulle Airport. Now, I totally forgot that we'd been to Charles de Gaulle very recently. We departed from there in the 737 not so long ago, so I do apologise for that. That was my fault. Stream's lagging. Oh, it's the outside still. That's annoying, because what I've done is I've lowered the frame rate, so if I show you... Oh, I won't do that because I've had that break before actually. Anyway, I've lowered the frame rate using the NVIDIA control panel as you guys suggested, which is brilliant, and it's really helped me in filming videos. Let's just load in our init request. Yeah, and it let me load in... let me set the frame rate to 30 frames a second using the NVIDIA control panel, which is ideal, and then I can record, and I've been able to record external footage now in Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I've been struggling to do for a long time because of the VSync issues. So I'm really disappointed that the stream isn't keeping up with that. It looks like it's okay in the cockpit. Very strange, very strange. The Abs Aviation, I'm glad you like the stream indeed, excellent. But yeah, Danny says, I think the mouse cursor is also a bit acting odd. It's displaced. Oh dear, what's going on? Is it really? I'm just trying to work out. Everything looks okay. Okay, well, you guys keep me updated. I hope the audio is going well for you guys as well. I've got the desktop turned up a little bit. So there we go. We're going from Charles de Gaulle to Alicante with Lipa as the alternate. It's going to be Simwings. Oh no, that's not right. It's actually the VSW, which is the Simwings airline 279. There we go. So Simwings 279, cruising at, we actually want to go up to 370 eventually. 350 is just the initial bit. And the IRS hopefully has aligned itself. There it is. Excellent. Okay, that's weird. That's really weird. I'm very surprised. Hold on, let me try and solve that one. Haven't got anything running in the background. Yeah, you're right. The mouse is way off. Huh. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and I have no clue why. Everything's working absolutely fine for me. Let me try one thing. Stand by. Oh dear. We've done this so many times. I think I can solve it. Okay. Right, how's that? Yeah, solved. Very strange. That was very strange, but good news, it's solved. Right, anyway, so that's the init A. We've got that far. So data init A, flight plan then. So did we get that ATIS? Let's see if they gave us any weather. So ATSU, AOC, received ATIS. There it is. Bonjour, this is Charles to Go information. Excellent. It doesn't normally have free text written in the digital ATIS, even if it's on the audio, but that's quite fun. Yeah, so my resolution, weirdly, I had the sim set to 1080, the stream set to 1080, but because I didn't change the monitor to 1080, it seems to have got confused. Very strange. Very strange. But anyway, we got it going. Excellent stuff. Yeah, so Avioman or Dougal, if you have any questions about what Simwings is, do ask them in the chat, but at Avioman or at Dougal McTavish, they are the gurus of Simwings, and they put a lot of effort into it, making it into what it is, and it's helped out already three people, which is excellent. I don't sound like a lot, 3, but it's a big deal helping out these people in such a generous way. So it's really, really nice that they've managed, and a lot of coordination and effort goes into it. And they take it very seriously, and they work really hard at the application process and making sure that the money goes to the right places. So yeah, I'm always very impressed with the work they put in. Right, Charles de Gaulle information, Bravo, 1654 UDC, landing 08 right and 09 left, takeoff 08 left, 09 right. So where do we want to take off from? We are there, I believe that's us. Here? Why can't I see it on the map? I thought it'd be more obvious. Are we there? Which way are we facing? No, we're facing south, so we must be up here. We must be this one, the larger one. So I think we want to go for the southerly runway if we can. And what we could do is grab a clearance first. In an airport like this, there's just so much going on. We've got an ATIS. So does that mean I'm going to go through centre 1281? Does anyone know? Should I contact centre in this context? There's only centre available, but if there's an ATIS, I assume they have a clearance for us. Let's see what happens. Hello, Brandon. Good to see you. And Paddy, good to see you as well. I hope you're doing well. DG27, thanks for coming along. Happy birthday for the other day. DG27 had his birthday not long ago. So great to see you here. And I hope you're doing very well. Yeah, the big one. Okay, good. So ideally, we want to go off the southerly runway because we can just taxi along here. But it wouldn't make the end of the world to go either way. So hopefully, if we can just grab our clearance, then that's going to sort that out. So let's try... Let me give it a go. So we are A320 NEO. We have information. Bravo.
Speedbird 157, confirm direct to Tutak.
Sensor, perfect. Thanks, Guy. We have the QNH of, what do they write? QNH of, where's it written? 1024. Good. Microsoft Flight Simulator is up to date, which is great. What's the temperature out there? Temperature of 25. Yeah, lovely. Really nice. Thanks for your subscription to Sebastian.
Alright, buddy. So, Speedbird 717, Tango, request back. Request take descent.
Sai, good to see you. Sai says, nice to catch your streams. I usually miss it. Proper sim lessons from Reward Pilot. Thanks, Sai. Thanks for coming along. Glad you enjoy them.
350-717 Tango.
Sorry. I have 5 Quebec Zulu size inconvenience, 340 on Lambrano.
This could be difficult to get a word in. There's a lot of traffic.
And 5 Quebec Zulu Paris, bonsoir, identify...
Yeah, we will set the reserve fuel in the FMC, Nick. We will indeed. Bonjour, Simwings 279, A320 NEO. We have information, Bravo, QNH 1024, request clearance Alicante.
Simwings 279 Paris, bonsoir, information, Bravo is current. You are clear to Alicante asphalt.
runway 08 left in use, LXU 5 hotel departure, initial flight level 10, question is initial flight level 120, squawk 5722.
Cleared, sorry, Simwings 279, cleared to Alicante, runway 08 left, flight level 120, squawk 5722, and sorry, can you confirm the departure for us?
Simwings 279er, LXU 5 hotel departure.
Airbus 5 hotel departure, Simwings 279, Messi.
Simwings 279er, correct?
Okay, thanks for your subscriptions to Simdeck and Mr. Tassonet. And yeah, there we go, there's the clearance. Very professionally handled by air traffic. So we move on from init A to flight plan. We're going to depart from Paris. We already know then 08 left. And we're going to take the Airbus 5 hotel, which is what we expected. There it is, the 5 hotel. Insert. And that runs through to Airbus. Excellent stuff. If we bring up the charts just to show you guys what that is. The charts are chaos for this airport, as you can see. So we are, thank you for those subscriptions. Yeah, we are up here on, I believe, Bravo then. It's so hard to tell from the flight simulator loading screen which stand you've chosen. I think we're up here on Bravo, facing south. So we'll take that. We're going from 08 left, which is down here, which is great. So that's going to be the shortest taxi. So that is ideal. And then we are going to do the Airbus departure. Simon Schmidt, thanks so much for your 4 times donation. Really appreciate it, Simon. Simon says, have a good flight, Captain. Thank you, Simon. Really appreciate it. I hope you're doing very well. Thanks so much for your subscription. And thanks for supporting the channel so much. Hopefully we will have a good flight if I can find the right chart. It's all kicking off now. Where's the... Come on. How can there be so many charts? You all know my bugbear with charts. I get so... I don't have much patience for charts when there's this many. It's incredible. Let me turn down the traffic. Let's figure this one out. Am I going to have to search for it, am I? Does anyone know the number of the charts? Where's it gone?
One correction, speed out 717 Tango, Unicorn 122 decimal 8, bye bye.
Zatra, EVX, Dolly, Monots.
345, Unicorn 122 decimal 8, bye bye.
Thank you for all those subscriptions, really appreciate it. I'm so sorry if I don't get around to reading them all. It's, yeah, I never manage these days. Especially when I can't find the charts. Oh well. Charts chaos, charts are gorgeous chaos. Yeah. Airbus, there we go. Airbus, okay, that looks good. 5 hotel, we found it. Yes, great news. So there's our departure then. We are going to head right south, and then let's have a look. Flight plan. Fly Poi, yeah, and then a Bobo, a Doxa, and finally to Airbus. Looks reasonable, up to 370. Good, let's finish off that clearance then. Let's not get distracted. Easy to do at this point, but we need to put in the flight level. We were cleared via flight level 120. Come on, mouse. 120 and squawk 5722. 5722. Put that to above, yeah. Stand by, and we'll put altitude reporting on, of course. There we go. Right, so that's the clearance done. So let's finish up the MCDU. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the chart help. Yeah, thank you for those subscriptions. I do apologise for missing so many. Yeah, we do need a special application that lets us filter them. That would be nice.
Velocity 237. Information Charlie is current. You are clear to Alicante.
There's no banner.
Right. LXU 5 Golf departure initial flight.
Oh no, disaster. Thanks very much for pointing that out. And yeah, I did it earlier. Not properly, clearly.
Sorry, could I change it to 08 left, please? Velocity 237.
Not sure what that noise was. There we go. Right, so we should have the overlay now. Duncan, thanks so much, Duncan. Thanks for your 400 ruble donation. Really appreciate it, Duncan. Duncan says, good evening, 320 Sim Pilot. Sorry I'm late. I'm in central Russia at the mother-in-law's house. Time difference threw me off. As always, incredible content. You're a seasoned pro. Thank you. Thank you so much, Duncan. Really appreciate it. Very kind of you. That's very generous. I hope you're doing well in Russia. It's fantastic. We have people from all over the world all the time here. which is amazing. So yeah, great to see you, and thank you for coming along. And no problem for being a bit late. We're always running late on this channel. You guys know that. My flights don't run late, I promise. But there we go. We're not usually anyway. So you got a flight plan, secondary. This is a lot of alerts. So, oh, Victor Tango, thanks so much, Victor Tango. Goodness me, for your $35.27 donation. Incredibly generous, Victor Tango. Victor Tango's been working so hard as a moderator and so on the channel anyway, so that's incredibly generous. Victor Tango says, thank you as always for the great content, your time and dedication to our community, Captain. Thank you so much, Victor Tango, really appreciate it. I hope you're doing very well in this nice weather, and thank you so much for all your work on the channel and that very kind donation. Yeah, really appreciate it. I don't know what to say, that's incredibly generous. So I can yeah, I don't know what to say. Right, secondary, still not active. Radnav, we're still on our departure, at least I think it is. Let me just check that. Yeah, it is on nav, so that's fine. We could put in the POI VOR if we're too really concerned, but I'm not overly concerned today. Right, then we are going to load in our 0 fuel weight, so we're on to diffs in B, so there's the weights, and check our fuel. We load in what we actually have, 9 tons, so let's put in 9.0, and in it goes. Yeah, so thank you again to Duncan, and thank you to Victor Tango for those incredibly generous donations. Really, really appreciate it. Oh my goodness, I streaming with air traffic control is always a bit of a challenge for me. I find it really hard doing all at once. So someone was asking, final time, do we put in the final reserve fuel? Yeah, I do. I'm actually going to increase that. Oh, actually no, we'll leave the airplane to calculate it. 800 kilos final reserve and a NEO doesn't sound unreasonable. So we've got that there. Now we'll just make sure we load in the expected wind, which is minus 16 for this one. Minus 16. I get that off my flight plan. So there we go, heading to 16 knots. Just adjust the time, got extra fuel. Calculations all looking pretty reasonable. Finally then, performance. Nice long runway here, easily a flat one takeoff. We'll go for a full flex 69. I don't know what interference we're getting from air traffic, but that is quite noticeable. I don't think it's air traffic control's fault. Yeah, but thank you again, Victor Tango. Thank you, Duncan. Really appreciate it. If ATC is too loud for you guys, yeah, I'm not surprised. It's I'll just turn it down a bit. Right, so that is performance done. Flap 1 from 8 left. Which is great, yeah, 8 left, just thinking there. 69 degrees, got our speeds in. Flap 1, all looking good. Clean speed of 219. Not going to be an issue for this departure. As far as I can tell, no speed limits, but we are climbing to flight level 120. Oh, there is a 280 knot speed limit, but aside from that, I think we'll be no trouble. Okay, if ATC is okay, I'll keep it where it was. Sounded like me calling with someone in the back of the heavy headwind. Right, so that is finished now. We got through to performance. We've got the APU up and running. It's time. Oh, we should turn that ground control on. There we go. It's time to run a checklist, I think. Let us do the before start checklist. So copy prep is completed. Gear pins and covers removed. Signs should be on and auto. They are indeed. ADIs are set to nav. Fuel quantity 9 tons. Oh, my mouse is really upsetting me these days. It's quite a new mouse, but it's yeah, the wheel sometimes reverses itself. There's 9 tons and balanced. That's all looking good. BARF. Sorry, takeoff data is set, and BARF is 1024 set. Finno, 1999, thanks so much for your £10 donation. Really appreciate it, Finno. That's really kind. And if you put a message through, I'll try and read it out. I can only apologise if I miss it. But thank you so much for that donation. Really appreciate it, Finno, for your £10 donation. Very kind. And I hope you're doing very well. As ever, you guys are very generous. And yeah, like I say, donations on Super Chat will go to the channel. Simwings, you need to go to their website. But I don't have any alerts set up for that. I do apologise. Right, ATC is loud. Okay, let's turn it down a bit. Yeah, it's quite an active air traffic today. Thank you again, Finno, for that donation. Really appreciate it. I think I probably read it out a little bit early. Unusual for me.
Enable because it's not on my airspace.
Thorsten says, how do you select VOR2 when its course set up in the RadNav page to be shown in the rows VOR? I don't mean the bearing pointers, but the blue course pointer and lateral deviation to VOR2. So you'd just go RadNav, then you'd put in course VOR2 in here. But remember, VOR2 will display on the FO's side. It's a bit of it's just the way it's set up, really. So you can't display VOR2 on this side in terms of the course part, only the needles. Yeah. If I can get a word in, we'll call up for push and start, I think.
309 Charlie Paris, bonsoir, squawk 5732.
5732, 309.
This can be tricky. This is going to be really tricky. Thanks so much, Si, for your £1.49 donation and a little dog picture. Thanks so much, Si. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much. Very generous. Finno says, cheers, man. No worries. Just got furloughed from flying. Cannot wait to get back. Yeah. Thanks, Finno. Really appreciate it. And yeah, it's not going well for us in the UK. That's for sure. But still, fingers crossed. There's another Alicante. Excellent news. Nope, you do not need to put in the trimmable horizontal stabilizer in the NEO. That message you get in the Toliss is, well, it might be a different fit. Yeah, it's not required in the NEOs. I know in the Toliss it does something, it gets upset, but yeah. Simwings 279, request push and start. He's going to ask me where I'm parked.
279, push and start approved, facing west, QNH 1024.
Push start approved, facing west, QNH 1224, Simwings 279. Excellent. That's good news. Good news. So back into the flight deck. Let's run our checklist. So thrust levers are definitely idle. Windows are closed. Let's get that transponder to auto and run below the line. Windows doors are closed. Beacon needs to come on. Mobile phones off. Thrust levers idle. Parking brake is set. So let's push back. So we go ground. Call the tug. Facing west means my nose needs to go to, this is always the hardest part, nose to the right. Here comes the tug. FO is taking a nap indeed, Brandon. Thanks for asking. Yeah, she's taking a nap on the sofa. She does like the hot weather, but she's a bit less active, does a bit more snoozing in the hot weather for sure. Rich Tango says, I have a quick technical question on the A320. I'm already at cruise level and top ECAM display has gone blank. So way to fix that. The top ECAM has gone blank. Very strange. So this and this screen are all connected by the display management computer. So you could get these three fail. I'm surprised to hear one screen fail. Yeah, very interesting. If you turn off the upper ECAM, again, it might not work in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It should revert to the bottom screen. Yeah, but it doesn't. So yeah, that would be the way to swap it over if it doesn't automatically do it. It should do it automatically. Right. So that is connected. Let's get our push going to face west. The lights are all on. I'm going to say release the parking brake and go backwards, please. Let's start the clock. Set that to run. I do like that feature working. And away we go. Noah, thanks so much for your €5.49 donation. Really appreciate it, Noah. Noah says, could you potentially turn off APU after the first engine has started and turn on the second engine using bleed from the first engine? You absolutely can. So, yeah. So thanks so much for that donation. Really appreciate it. My nose is going to go right. Is that correct? Yes, so we're going to vacate out there. So quite a long push. I think I might just do a straight push. Oh no, you said facing west, so I shouldn't really. Over that bridge, which is pretty cool. We are using the freeware Paris scenery, so thank you for suggesting that on Discord. But yeah, no, thanks so much for that donation. And yeah, absolutely. We don't do that very often though. The reason is the APU is much better for starting the engines. If we try and use the crossbleed, we have to actually rev up the live engine to get the pressure to the right point. And the result of that is, you know, we have to do it sat still, so it's quite time consuming. Talking of which, let's start up our first engine. So we'll go for engine 2. It's only a short taxi today. So number 2, start the clock. And got to set up, of course, our fixed camera. But yeah, so thank you so much for that donation. I really appreciate it. And yeah, you're absolutely right. You can do exactly that. I still prefer these custom views. Where is it? There we go. Oh, better stop this push. There goes that engine. Come on, airplane. Stop pushing. There we go. And stop. Goodbye, tug. Thanks so much. Parking brake is set. You're right. He said facing west indeed. And we should have put that nose to the right, but I've gone way too far back for that. Luckily, there's no one behind us, so hopefully he won't notice. There goes the ground crew. And that engine is starting up nicely. So yeah, so thank you again for that donation. No, I really appreciate it. But yeah, so to start up, it's a supplementary procedure, so we can do it. It's not a crisis, and if your APU is broken, that's how we do it. But just it's a bit of a pain by comparison to just using the APU. So even if we were taxiing out of one engine, just waiting for that available message. There it is. Let's start up engine number 1. So on it goes. Yeah, even if we were to be doing this, why has that happened? There we go. Yeah, we would try and use the APU even on a single engine. Turning off the top ECAM makes no difference. That's very strange, Tango. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what has happened. Which thing's on the Toliss? Could be a failure of the display. Yeah. Ed, the TCA add-on is doing very well. Yeah, very happy with it. It's fine. Again, the thrust levers, I think, are the biggest thing. So having the quadrant itself, so you can get the detents, is the most important part. There's the tug all gone away nicely. Yeah, the outside view is now smooth. That's good news. Yeah, that is good news. Yeah, I thought so, because I've got a frame rate limiter, so now it should only do 30 frames a second. And we should find we don't have the same issues. Thank you for those subscriptions. Those of you who just subscribed. Yeah, someone distracted AGZ, exactly. So right, there we go. There's a clunk. The generator's online, so it's a good sign the engine's worked. That would also have turned off now. The engines are up and running. It does it automatically in the real aircraft. There's available. So switch back to norm. I can't arm my spoilers even with my fancy add-on pack. But anyway, we don't do that yet. First of all, APU comes off. I'm going to come down here. Going to arm that rudder trim center, although I have the button for that, so which is quite good fun. Press that. There we go. Flaps to 1, and set that trim up. We're going with 29.5. So, yeah, 29.5. The standard, as you guys know. A little bit of nose down trim. There we go. And right, it's time for the afterstart checklist. So anti-ice not required. It's a lovely, beautiful, warm day. ECAM status is checked. Pitch trim is set at 29.5 and rudder trim is at 0. That's the afterstart checklist complete. Okay, yeah, that's really good. I'm glad. Great to hear the stream is a bit smoother now. We've got it limited to 30 frames. I'm so happy because I can finally film some exterior shots. Let's get that taxi clearance. I'll just turn these lights on now. No real shame in doing that. There you go. That's fade of the screen. There you go. Excellent. Simwings 279 request taxi.
Simwings 279 taxi also runway 08 left via Tango Bravo 1 Foxtrot Tango 3.
Tango Bravo 1 Foxtrot Tango 3 to holding point 08 left. Simwings 279. Right. That's going to be fun. So luckily, because we're staying on the south side of the airport and not travelling to the north side, that shouldn't be the hardest chart. So we're here. We're going to go Tango Bravo 1. There it is. Then we're going to take Foxtrot. So he wants us to take the inside taxiway, Foxtrot, down here. And we'll take Foxtrot to Tango 3. So Foxtrot, Tango 3. Bit of a stretch of the imagination there, because that looks like Romeo to me. But I can't see another way. So we'll do that. And thanks for the subscription to Cruiser. Right. So parking brake is released. There we go. Thrust is up. We'll do a little brake check once we get going. So here we go. Brake check. Oh, come on. There's no way. I squeezed those pedals really lightly, I thought. But yeah, there we go. And off to the right here. It's all clear. Fantastic. Do we have any other traffic following us? Nope. No, it's just us for now. Beautiful afternoon to be flying. Yeah, I haven't been to Paris for a long time. Would be nice. So we've got to get these right. I'm hoping with this is freeware scenery from flightsim.to. I'm a big fan of flightsim.to, and it's the scenery people provide. They do a great job, and for free as well. Let's hope the bridge does hold us up. Right, this is a bit annoying. What's this car going to do? I wonder if it would drive out the way. Of course, they wouldn't be driving here, and if they were, they have to give way to us. So sometimes you see operations vehicles do this, the orange vehicles, and then they just sort of whiz out onto the grass to get out the way when you go past. Rosie McGowan, good to see you. Rosie says hi, Skip. Glad to caught you live again. Thanks for coming, Rosie. Yep, we are live as well. Swiss 001 subscribed today. I highly doubt it was the Swiss 001 you're thinking of, but still, If it is, thanks for subscribing. Jonathan Gunthauser, thanks so much for your $20 donation. Incredibly generous. Jonathan says, as I always say, excellent quality content creators should always be promoted for their work. Happy to help as much as I can. Thanks so much, Jonathan. That's really generous. Really appreciate it. Everybody look the other way. I know how to do that. There we go. We're going to get going here. But yeah, thank you, Jonathan. Really, really appreciate it. And I hope you're doing very well. And thank you for supporting the channel so much as you have done. Very kind. Very, very kind indeed. You guys have been far too generous. There we go. We just squished it. Yeah, thanks so much, Jonathan. Really kind. I'm glad you've been enjoying the content. Right, let's get this right. Tango Bravo 1. That's what we were told to do. So that's over here. So what's this one? It's all Tango Bravo 1. Oh, well, we know we're taking this first left. So let's go over there. Paris is like this. There's a Concorde somewhere around here. Well, not, I say statue. I think it is the real Concorde. Okay, so Tango Bravo 1. Once we're heading south on here, we'll do our flight control checks. We're going a little bit fast here, revving around the airport. This is great freeway scenery, though. They've done a fantastic job. And there's the traffic in front going the same way. They're taking off. So slow it down a bit. Let's get those flight controls done. So there's full left, full right, neutral, full down, full up, neutral. Squeeze on those brakes. Squeeze on those brakes. Full right, full left, neutral. FO will do their controls. Okay, good stuff. Coming down here then, we need to get that transponder to TARA. I'm going to put the predicted wind sheet on. I'm not going to put the weather radar on. There's no weather out there at all. Maximum auto brake. Takeoff config. Cool, the cabin crew. I forget which one it wants us to do here. Ah, that's interesting. I need to, I've got to use my hardware for the auto brake to max. There we go. Right, slow it down a bit. James Cooper, thanks so much for your £5 donation. Really appreciate it, James. James says, texture issue caused me to crash on taxiway Delta. We'll follow the stream. Gutted. Ah, sorry, James. But yeah, you could always try. We're going to stick with Foxtrot here. And I'll just keep following the Foxtrot sign because the chart wasn't very clear. I think we want to go over here. Let's hope that works out. Thanks so much, James, for the donation. Really appreciate it. Very kind of you. Thank you to all of you. You've been very generous. So yeah, very kind. And again, I apologise that I don't have the... Oh, there we go. I apologise I don't have the direct link to Simwings support, but the link is in the description to go to their page if you'd like to donate. But again, I don't have any alerts set up. Aha, that's an EasyJet in front of us.
Right, Tango 3, line up and wet, 08 left, CZ3 Papa Kilo.
Let's get those screens brighter. Really sunny there like this, you definitely want to. But yeah, thank you, James. Really appreciate it. Jonathan says, you're welcome, my pleasure. I'm doing fine, enjoying your stream. Thanks, Jonathan. Guys, you're enjoying it. Really appreciate it. It's great that you guys enjoy the streams because they make such a difference to my day when I get a good stream done. I just absolutely love it. Okay. So there's our departure, looking good, going off to the right, climbing to flight level 120. All the speeds and data are loaded, so we can run our brief before. Sorry, our checklist before takeoff. Checklist. Flight controls are checked. Flight instruments are checked. Briefing confirmed. Flap setting config 1 plus F green. Config 1. Oh, should be on the perf page. There we go. Config 1 blue. Let's bring it to a stop here. FMA and takeoff data. I've got 133, 138. Climb level blue 182, 12,000 feet. We're going to make that into a flight level, flexing 69. Transponder is set to TARA. Yeah, you can get a little bit of brake, but you've got to be very careful with it. Transponder set to TARA, and the eco memo is takeoff no blue. The next one is below line, so I'm going to set that parking brake, and let's work it out. I will check the DM Dougal very soon. Yeah, as soon as we get in the air.
Continue flight level 370.
Continue climb to flight level 370, Simwings 101.
Advance 52 Uniform Tango, descend altitude 5 seconds.
Right, so that EasyJet's going to go, and then we're going to go. Busy. This is why it's good fun. We do like flying at a busy airport sometimes. This is incredibly busy because we've got obviously the controller doing the whole centre as well. They're doing a fantastic job. Thank you for your subscription to Stakey Boy. Thanks for coming along. Deshan, good to see you as well. Noah says the streams are truly great, entertaining, and also very much packed with information. Thanks, Noah. Really glad you enjoy them. So, like I've said before, sometimes the videos are. I love making videos, but I found that they're more lonely than streams, obviously. And it's been a bit frustrating trying to make videos when you can't get the frame rates to work for the recordings. So it's been nice to get that back actually. So I've been working on a video for the upcoming, or the just released Stearman, for those of you interested. So the Boeing Stearman being released by DC Design. So yeah, I've got a review of that coming. Hopefully that'll be out for you tomorrow, which should be good fun. It's nice to be back in a German aviation plane. And yeah, and I have great fun filming. I don't know how much it shows up in my videos, but I really like getting some nice exterior shots into videos. I try to avoid just making a 40-minute clip of me talking from the cockpit, but sometimes that's how I end up doing it. But hey, there's landing traffic on the other runway. This is the fun of Paris Charles de Gaulle, 380 no less, or a 380 with winglets. Can't wait for the fly-by-wire 380 to join us. That'd be fantastic. So they'll land there. They should now clear this EasyJet to go, because this airplane is going to vacate and want to cross the runway. But of course, this, in theory, the landing aircraft has priority, but they often, once they know this airplane isn't going around, that's when they land. That's when, oh, he's making him stand by. Yeah, so usually it's when this airplane lands in parallel airports. There they go. Because the risk is, if this aircraft goes around, you'll have this airplane taking off and they'll be very close because these runways are close together. So in some airports like Dusseldorf and a few of the German airports with parallel runways close to each other, that's what they'll do. So the question now is, who gets priority, us or our friends over here? Oh no, they've already been lined up. Disaster. This is what happens sometimes. You join a queue. You join a queue. That's why we came to a busy airport.
101 direct to Edoxa.
He's clearing people for direct, which is nice.
Direct to Edoxa, Simwings 101.
This is great freeware. I'm so impressed. Really happy with this. Thanks so much for the suggestion. The Stearman is lovely, says Mark. Yeah, my thoughts will be coming very soon. Very soon. I feel like if I reveal what I think now, I'll spoil it. As if it matters that much, but yeah.
Lufthansa Cargo 599 Yankee.
No.
Welcome to Roissy.
Ah, good. That was a Lufthansa Cargo.
08 left.
So they're holding short of 8 left, so they'll sit there, and that's the fun in Charles de Gaulle. You get to sit there while sometimes, you know, if you get like a 340-200 or well, even the 340-200 or 300, they don't have the takeoff performance. So they'll crawl along the runway, they'll use the whole runway, and then they'll get airborne somewhere here, and you'll get to see them go right past your window. It's good fun. Thanks, Daniel, for your subscription. Come on, we were doing so well. We set off early. I was so impressed. How are we doing for fuel? 250 kilos burnt of fuel. I'd say that's probably a little bit high. I think the fuel flow on the ground in this add-on is a little bit high. 400 kilos aside is more of the older engine style fuel burn. I think, anyway, in my opinion. It tends to be ever so slightly lower. Okay. So, he's holding. So, hopefully this Airbus will get going any second now. Crows the Moon, good to see you. Thanks for coming along. I hope you're doing very well. Liam says, I personally find your videos very interesting, so I won't mind listening to you for 30 minutes. Excellent, Liam. Thank you. Yeah, I enjoy filming, getting some nice shots of the airplane. I like airplanes, so seeing them from the outside as well is good fun for me. He did tell them to hold short, indeed.
Yeah. Lufthansa Cargo 599 Yankee, cross runway 08 left via Sierra 7.
Crossing runway 08 left via Sierra 7 and Lufthansa Cargo 599, we take no delay.
Okay.
52 Uniform Tango, turn right heading 180 degrees.
180 degrees, Alpha and 52 Uniform.
Thanks, Samuel, for your subscription. I hope you're doing well. This is the LEAP engines on this aircraft, Danny. LEAP 1A.
Control, good evening. Easy 69, quick to make with you, 26 nautical miles south of Godhead.
There he goes.
Easy 69 Victor Mike Paris, bonsoir,
So now this one needs to go. And then hopefully us before the heavy. If it's the heavy, then us, then there's a long wait between the two. You don't want to be put behind the heavy if you can avoid it. So you want to make sure you're ready before that. Let's just have a look at our plan just to get a big picture of that. All looks good. James says, happy to carry on watching. By the time I load back in and get clearance, you'll be an hour ahead. The Paris controller is doing a cracking job. The Paris controller is doing a great job, but you might find if you load in now, you probably catch up with us pretty quickly. Indeed. Chris Moon says, hey, all things good, just a little bit busy. What about you guys? Been missed? Yeah, Chris Moon's been away a bit. So someone else is joining the approach. Come on, get this Airbus going. It's always easy as pilots to sit here and think.
Chicago 254, wind 080 degrees 9 knots, runway 08 left, clear for takeoff.
There we go. Oh, so that's the Lufthansa cargo. Excellent. So there's one down there.
Lufthansa cargo 59 Yankee.
I thought the Lufthansa cargo was...
Stand Mike 12 via...
Oh, there they go. Two Lufthansa cargos, eh?
Yankee, Mike 10, correct Mike 12 via Romeo and uniform.
Flight Sim got given a 30-minute delay on a taxiway in Christchurch last night, says Andy. Oh no! Thanks for coming, Andy. Sorry, I don't know if I said hi to Andy. But thanks for coming, and yeah, that's not good. 30 minutes on the taxway is never fun. That's never fun.
Byway, Simwings 279 line up and wait runway 08 left.
Line up and wait 08 left, Simwings 279. Fantastic. Brake off. Strobe lights on. Landing lights on. Nose lights take off. Clear on the approach. Let's get on the runway. That's great news. There, we've got ahead of the long haul. Andy Robinson, thanks so much for your $10 donation. Really appreciate it, Andy. Andy says lots of new subs today. Hope you're practicing on the Concorde. Yeah, we are getting a few new subs, aren't we? Luckily, I think it's been quiet for the last week because there weren't too many videos. But yeah, I have had the manual. I've got the PDF of the Concorde sitting there, and I'm braving it bit by bit. I haven't got very far through it though, I must admit. But yeah, thanks Andy for the donation. Really appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the channel so much, and I hope you're doing very well. Right. Let's get this ready. Yeah, thank you again, Andy. Really, really generous. Okay, so below line, cabin is secured. Engine mode select is norm. TCAS TRA packs are going to be on. Always on these days, especially in the hot weather. But with everything going on, we need those on. So it is time to go. Finally, excellent, excellent, excellent.
52 uniform Tango, wind 080 degrees 900, runway 08 right, clear to land.
They're landing on 08 right, so I'm expecting if once they touch down, we can get clearance to go. And this is quite normal. In France, you'll hear the controller speaking French to...
279 wind 080 degrees 900, runway 08 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 08 left, Simwings 279. Even better, we are going now, which we'll definitely take. So, parking brake is released. Let's go. I'm going to start the timer. You guys might hear the cat there. That's just, I'm just checking she's alright. I think she's fine. She's making a lot of noise. So, we'll start the timer. Powering up, release the brakes. 2 clicks forward. Man, Flex 69, SRS runway. Order thrust is armed and blue. Half side stick down. Let's not forget that. And away we go. I don't know if you guys heard the cat there. Talking very loudly. 8100 knots, side stick to neutral. My 30 frames a second is looking like it's not being met here. Massive great runway, no problems here. There's V1 and rotate. So up we go. Rotate law doing its thing. Positive climb. Gear up. There's nav mode, but I'm not going to turn hard left here, so we'll just keep it here. There's that 380. Bit naughty looking out the side while we're taking off, but there it goes. Fantastic. Look at those aeroplanes. Very busy traffic. Why is it trying to go left? There we go. It's sequenced itself properly. It's PG081. Oh, it's trying to get to the runway, that's why. Through acceleration now. So, any second, we'll see that nose drop. There it is. Thrust levers back of stage. Thrust climb, climb, auto thrusts. Just put in autopilot 1 now so we can get an external view in a second. Okay, let's do it. Fantastic. And there we go, leaving Paris. Thanks for having us, Paris. Controller's been absolutely fantastic, which has been really nice. And yeah, it's time to get going to Alicante. About a 1 hour, 50-minute flight for this one. We'll try and up that and get some shortcuts as we go as well. Hopefully improve the time a little bit, because it is... I've messed up my times. Climb up with 370, Simwings 279. Right, there's the S, flaps to 0. And let's put in that flight level. Come on, mouse, you can do it.
Air Canada 8 unité, Paris.
Come on.
Air Canada 8, on a un petit problème moteur. J'ai.
There we go. 370 blue. Let's set standard. Standard is there. So we've got out blue 370. My frame rate is absolutely tanking. Good. Let's disarm those ground spoilers. Flaps are at 0. We can turn off the nose wheel lights. And that's us until we get to 10,000 feet. Our takeoff checklist landing gear is up. Flaps retracted. Packs on. Bow ref standard set. Our takeoff checklist complete.
Arrive à l'offre de France Yankee.
Lieutenant Cargo 59 Yankee, go ahead.
Sorry about that, guys, just sorting something out. So we're heading to Papa Golf 101, climbing to 370, soon through 10,000 feet. Let's get a bit of a wing view. There we go. Fantastic. Nice dusk flight. Really nice livery. I like the detail on the sharklet here as well. Yep, you guys can hear the cat indeed. Kensington Fire says donation website has been changed. Yes. So once we get above 10,000 feet, we will sort that one out. Which we are. So we're accelerating. That's fine. It was a 280 knot maximum limit. So let's obey that. Why not? As we know about it. 280. There we go. Right, landing lights coming off. I'm going to go to airports. We'll leave constraints on the FO side. It just shows us what's nearby. And if we come down here, we can go to, yeah, fuels are looking good. Flight plans are all nice and sequenced. Radnavs are all clear. Secondary, we can't do anything with. Right. So, yeah, Simwings support. So for those of you who've joined since I mentioned it, Simwings support, Dougal and Aviaman set that up. I believe they're the creators of it. And it just does a fantastic job where it helps people who can't otherwise get into simulation or can't get the equipment they need for various reasons, and it helps them get that sorted through the very kind donations of people such as yourselves and other people who kindly donate things, and some of the developers of products that donate them, and creators of simulators and hardware and all sorts. So they do a great job, and they do a fantastic job getting that to these people. So how it works is you can submit an application on the Simwings website, and if you think that you're deserving of this stuff, if you're a member of the community who's perhaps struggling to get your equipment in line or get into the simulators properly, but the application process is quite thorough. They check that you're obviously a real person who's been a part of the community and so on, and not someone trying to cheat the system. So they do a great job looking after it, and they take it very seriously, which is something that's always impressed me, because it does take a lot of extra work, and they're very thorough with the application process. So applications have opened today. If you go to the link in the description, that is the website where you can apply. And I've just had a message from Dougal, so let me check that. So if you would like to donate to Simwings, let me see if I can make this work. I'm just going to put that into the description as well. Sorry guys, I'm just writing it into the description.
Echo 5 Romeo Tango 3.
and make it very clear. There we go. Okay, so now in the description, there is a direct link for the PayPal if you'd like to donate to Simwings, because that's I think the link on the website was broken. So yeah, so hopefully that works. So I'm sure Dougal or Aviaman can confirm if I got that set up right. Sounds like we're doing fine with the traffic control. Good climb performance. Not getting much of a shortcut. Could do with one really. Again, I messed up my timings. I'm going to be having a very late dinner today.
All station, I'm closing.
Oh, Paris is going.
Bye-bye, have a beautiful night. Hélicon 22-8, ça merci contrôle. C'est une bonne soirée.
I was going to say thank you as well.
Bonne soirée.
Ah well, he's done a fantastic job. So we'll go over to Unicorn 1228. Seatbelt signs are off. Passengers can walk around. Stunning day over the whole of Europe. Not a cloud in the sky. Amazing. Yeah, really nice. So yeah, so that's why I'm flying in the Simwings livery today. Again, there won't be any notifications. So if you want to donate to me, then you know, very very kind. But you just do that the usual way: super chat and the link through the Cloudbot or in the description for my channel. But the Simwings support link is in there now as well, if you guys would like to use it. Thanks for your subscription to Rimir. Right. Yeah, and the big news is the reason we're doing all these streams, and I think there's been some streamers before me and some streamers after me perhaps using the livery as well, a bit of an event today. It's just because the applications have reopened. Oh, I love that effect on the rivers. They do look just like that when the sun's low in the sky. You get that gleam off the water, and sometimes that's all you can see. Again, Microsoft Flight Simulator just getting it absolutely spot on over and over again with these sort of atmosphere visuals. So there we go. Yeah, you can just see the lakes. Water is very hard to see, and I mean like sort of big bodies of water when the sun's high up, because it's just dark blue often, so it just looks the same as a field or something. But when the sun's low, you get these glistening rivers and tributaries and so on, which makes it much easier to spot them. Okay, you seem to be getting some problems again with the stream. Hopefully that solves itself. I can only hope. Super 6 Bravo says the A32NX has been playing up for me. Latest dev build. I think I might be me, but doing some other things. Okay, I'm on the latest dev build here as of, I think I updated it this morning, but maybe yesterday. Ooh, not sure. Sounds like that link is working. Excellent, Eileen. Thank you so much. And Captain Spitfire. Captain Spitfire, another member of the Simwing support community, which is great. Really nice group of people that work very hard. Jonathan says, I believe France airports and Geneva are the only ones where you'll hear French ATC, the rest being mostly in English. They are all mostly in English, but any French airport usually you'll find will speak to French aircraft in French, and the en route controllers as well. So you'll be cruising along just like we are now, and you won't have a clue where any of the other aircraft are, because you won't hear them, because they'll be, well, you hear them, but they'll be speaking in French, of course. Yeah, very common. But on the ground in Charles de Gaulle, that can be particularly difficult because you have a lot of airplanes moving around very close to each other. Okay, looks like the frame rates have solved. Thank you for subscription. I believe that subscription's coming through. Right. Johan says, had a great talk with a pilot friend of mine today. He told me it's important to get another education first to fall back on if my future pilot career fails. Do you agree? Yeah, I mean, it would be nice. It's you know, it's not always that easy, but it's nice to have a career to fall back on, because aviation is famously up and down. You know, airlines fail, and as we've seen with the pandemic, things happen, and it seems like this one has been, I mean, this is by far the most brutal reduction in aviation we've ever seen, and it's been so sustained, and there's been varying levels of support, I should say, from from outside the industry. So yeah, it's if you can have a career to fall back on, brilliant. Yeah, but you know, sometimes I appreciate that's not always possible, financial constraints and so on. But yeah, thank you for your subscription to Mr. Cadet Sky. I hope you're doing well. YouTube's still telling me it's not doing a very smooth stream, so you guys let me know if it's not working. Howdy, good to see you. Glad you're enjoying it. Thanks for coming along. Noah's having some navigation problems in the latest dev, especially the stars aren't going so well. Don't follow the path. Well, the lateral navigations have been a problem for a long time. I think they're still using the default. Does anyone know? Are we onto modern custom lateral navigation yet? Or are we still using the default? I have a funny feeling we're on the default. Let's go to manage speed now. We're off that SID, so we don't need to obey the speed restriction. It's not much different. And let's do our usual. Let's try and do better on the time. So at the moment we're landing at 8:30. Yikes. I'm going to be pretty hungry by then. But let's see if we can improve the situation. If I go to let's go for probably 80. Doesn't make much difference over that. 2 minutes saved. We'll take it. I'm suffering for audio now. That's very strange. We've never... No, the audio's always been the thing that's worked. That's a bit of a shame. Let me know how it goes. I don't know what the issue could be. Some people seem to be doing all right. Let's find out. Let's find out. Last time we tried to stream the CRJ in Australia, and I couldn't get my computer to run both at the same time. It just wouldn't do it. It was really strange. There's some traffic down there. Now, apparently the TCAS works. Let's put the TCAS to below. A little bit early to do that. And let's bring that range in, see if we can spot them. Yes, it does. There they are. Was this working last time? Was it? Am I thinking of the right simulator? Or was it... Oh, I don't remember. Anyway, there's TCAS. It is working. 6,600 feet per leaf. Audio is fine for Maxim. Excellent news. They haven't even released a new experimental. Okay, yeah, so we're still on the normal one. What is okay for now? Okay, thanks, Dougal. Let me know how it goes. Flying for Fun says, how was your weekend been? I live under the flight path of a UK airport, so I've been treated to some great aircraft. Oh, excellent. Yeah, you must have seen, I suppose, for the G7 Flying for Fun, you must have seen some amazing things. Yeah, that's pretty cool. My weekend's been fine, but I've been locked away inside trying to get this Stearman video sorted out for tomorrow, so hopefully that comes in time. Ask for direct routing. Yeah, we could do aviation mentor. Yeah, we could do indeed. I think I'll just go direct. What about Costinex 999? Yeah, I believe it's going to give up at 99. No, there you go. Look at that. But again, it's going to make very little to no difference, really. .117 Sim Racing, my call sign is Simwings 279, VSW 279. Is the stream still running? I'm having a bit of an issue. So you guys let me know if the stream is still going at your end. I'm just going to try on another screen. Oh dear. Let's see. Everything's fine. Oh, very strange. I don't know what. This is what streaming's like, isn't it? This is a classic. Let me just see what's going on here. We lost your audio for a bit, and it seems to have refreshed, but it seems fine now. Okay, because on my YouTube page, it's showing it as a constant sort of spinning circle of doom. So that's good to know it's working for you guys. Yeah, okay, it's working. That's good. Okay, right, well, I'll stop worrying about that one. Good stuff. Paddy said had to reload, but working fine. Yeah, I can only apologise. I don't know why. My internet should be absolutely fine, but sometimes these things happen. I have a massive, great long Ethernet cable running from my computer into the into the router to make sure that we have it working. Good stuff. Good stuff. Right, thanks so much, guys. John says, yep, you can hear us. Excellent. That's good. Yeah, I can only... Sorry about that, guys. Checkpoint says, well, it's time to be locked inside with these temperatures. Yeah, it is a bit. But it was so hot outside that I didn't mind. I can't get to a beach or anything nice that easily. Ryan says, hi SimPilot, I hope you're well. I wanted to ask you about the auto strobes. Can you explain how they work and when you put them on? Yeah, auto strobes, we put them on the ground as we enter the runway. You can see that they're currently on, and we'll turn them back to auto as we leave the runway. They will come on in flight as long as we have the switch in auto. So that's why you'd have the auto position. It's good to leave it there on the ground, because if you forget to turn them on as you line up on the runway, and of course you want them on when you're on the runway so other aircraft landing can see you more easily or trying to take off. But worst case scenario, you'll be alright, because you can when you get in the air, the strobes will come on, and they're your anti-collision lights, of course, which are particularly useful for avoiding other aircraft in flight. They make you stand out. So I say, I've said it before in my video on lights, the nav lights are remarkably good. You can see them for miles and miles away. Yeah, really impressive. Thanks DG27. DG says all good. Excellent. John says, Flight Data Sim had issues pre-stream yesterday as well, and V1's internet is severely broken. Must be something in the AF aviation streamers. Yeah. I've seen, in fact, a lot of you have left. Yeah, so the stream numbers are dropping. Don't know what's happened there. I'm not going to risk doing anything too clever, but interesting. So for some of you it seems alright. James is heading down to East Midlands Aeropark Thursday, making the most of the weather, checking out the Vulcan and views of runway 09. Excellent. I hope there's some planes flying for you. Sorry about that, guys. Just trying to sort something out. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the stream. Yeah. We just lost instantly about 100 people. We are going to Alicante. We are indeed. Yeah, so sorry, James, the Aeropark should be good fun at East Midlands. I've been there. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's got some amazing airplanes, and you can get some shade underneath the Vulcan if it's too hot and sunny. Matt says, I've been going through your tutorials and they've been really helpful. Thank you for all you do. Much appreciated. You're very welcome, Matt. Thanks for coming along. Glad you've enjoyed the videos. Like I said, back to a review. I haven't done a proper review for a long time. I've done some previews. I'm not sure. Was the last review I did, was it the Waco YMF5? I looked that up thinking it was like, you know, a month or two ago, and it's 6 months ago, which is pretty shocking. Daniel, no, I'm not on Twitch. No, we're only on YouTube here on the channel. James is sat in the garden watching the stream with a cold beer. What could be better? Excellent. Yeah, I'm very jealous. That sounds lovely. Sim says, so hot here, I have every fan in my house pointing at me and my PC is 48 degrees reporting from CPU. Yeah, I don't even want to look at the temperatures on my computer. No way. No way. East Midlands Aeropark is pretty good. It's pretty cool, says Ed. Yeah, I agree. John says you can stand under the Vulcan. Yeah, you could when I went. Yeah, you can walk around underneath it. But I don't want to get your hopes up in case they've changed that. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Thanks to Proud Indian. Love your channel, brother. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Ethan, we're doing very well. How are you doing? Okay, we're recovering some viewers. People seem to be able to log back on, which is good news. I really don't know what happened. Right. Anyway, all my chatting, getting distracted there. We're level at 370. TCAS is already set to below. We should have outpaced our colleague, or we certainly outclimbed them. Let's see if we can get a shortcut going here. Oh yeah, let's go direct to Pimod. Pimod. Inserts. There's nav. Oh, ooh, interesting. What's it doing? It's thinking, and it's lost everything. No, it hasn't. It's all back. That was alarming. Good. So we're going to Pimod, which is great news. And if I zoom all the way out, there we go. Getting up towards the start of our arrival. Christian says, is the reason for setting TCAS to below on the cruise level that you'll have a better overview of aircraft beneath you if, for example, you have to descend quick after an engine out? Exactly, yeah. It just gives you a bit of awareness of what's beneath you. Again, it's not going to make the world of difference. We traditionally, if you have a depressurization or an engine failure and you have to immediately descend without air traffic control clearance, it would be common to make a turn off of the flight you're on. But that's not always the case. It's not the case in the whole of Europe anymore. But the reason it's not so useful these days is that we don't tend to sit on airways that much. So it's quite rare to fly along and see an aircraft sitting, 1,000 feet above or below you, or anywhere near you. Really, everyone's on direct routings of some variety. So it's unusual to have an aircraft sitting there. So that these days it's not worth it. Usually the theory, although in the UK it's a bit more congested and there's more chance you are still on the airway, so I think that's a bit more common to be wanted. Yeah, Aviation says the weather here in the UK is crazy. My room gets so warm sometimes I have to get my fan and place it in front of my PC. Yeah, it is. I'm not surprised. The UK houses are not set up for it either. Dougal says, have you tried the new Steam? And it's great. Yes, I have indeed. And it will be coming, the video on it will be coming tomorrow. I've gone for the proper review format again for that video, which is, I quite enjoy it. It's quite consuming in terms of time, but it's, the cat's joined me and she's drinking out of my water, but I've got fizzy water. So I'm going to have to get a new glass of that, but she's feeling the hot weather, but I don't think she enjoyed the fizzy water outside of things. Right, I better move that glass of water before I forget and try and drink out of it. Yeah, so I've gone for the full review format on the PT-17, which I like. It's just a bit of a... It takes a bit longer to make a video. Like I say, it's taken the whole day today, really, because you're trying to get some outside shots and inside shots and think up some thoughts and actually fly it a bit before you review it. Of course, you can't just review it having just downloaded it. John says, I'm definitely not working from my main rig tomorrow. Heats up my office like a furnace. Yeah, it's not ideal. I've got all the windows open next to my computer, which hopefully sorts it out, but you might hear some cars going by. Rakon, good to see you. Rakon says, everyone complaining about summer, maybe you should fly in the Nordics in the next month for cooler cockpits. There's an idea. Luckily, in the heat of summer, airliners are very comfortable because we have incredibly powerful air conditioning, so you know, it doesn't matter if it's 35 degrees outside, you'll notice it when you get on the airplane if it's been left off. I know the 747 was famous for overheating very easily. If you had a 747 left out in the sun and all the window shades were open and so on, it could cook very quickly and it would be quite hard to cool it down. But the 320, no problem. The APU bleed will cool it down in minutes. It's incredibly powerful. Same in the winter, it heats it up in minutes. Daniel says, what would you like to see improved most in Microsoft Flight Simulator? Still that lateral navigation, yeah, and the ground handling. Those are the two things. I suppose... No, they fixed the contrails, haven't they? Yeah, so the contrails now work in a straight line. So the graphics are just excellent, spot on. You shouldn't be getting ads every few minutes. I'm not doing that much this end. Thanks for the subscription, Jacob. Yeah, that could be again an issue with the issue with the stream. I don't know what's going on there. Like you guys say, there's just endless problems with pilots trying to stream on YouTube, it seems, at the moment. Good to see Gonzalez. Yeah, don't worry, the FO does have water. She's just she has a habit of taking water from, you know, a desk much more than she'll take it from her bowl or her other bowl or her third bowl, or if we give it to her. But if she sees it on a desk in your glass or the table when you're having dinner, that's where she thinks that's her water supply. Jonathan's having trouble. Ah, dear. Richard's had a few ads. That's really strange. I don't know why you guys are getting adverts. Yeah, and we're losing a lot of viewers. I'm not surprised. Shouldn't be getting this many adverts. Lauren V says, just got into the Grenoble stream. Do I risk refreshing the page? Do I risk it? Is it going to make a difference? Okay. Okay, let's see if that works. I've tried refreshing the page, and I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed that somehow stays connected. Keo, thanks for your subscription. John says, yes, LNAV not great in FS 2020, makes vacuum controllers cry. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, it's not ideal. Daniel's been kicked out. You know, people have to relaunch YouTube. Okay, I've tried. I'm trying. Victor Sanger says she wouldn't be a cat otherwise. No, indeed. Pancake Sparkle, which has stream's been smooth. Excellent. Glad it's worked for you, so fingers crossed. Pavel, good to see you, Pavel. Pavel says, I had to buy my FO a cat fountain. Yeah, that could be a good idea. Maybe, I mean, maybe she just likes the water to be a bit fresher, especially in the summer. That could be it. Daniel says, because I got kicked out, I'll ask my question again in case you didn't see it. What changes would you most want to see? Yeah, so I did see it, and the answer was lateral navigation to be improved, ground handling to be improved. Those two things. Yeah. I think the flight models in the air are fine. It seems to depend on the aeroplane. The flight models they provided, some of them are pretty bad. That's mainly the problem. The default aircraft has some bad flight models, in my opinion. It seemed to crash, so some people have had the adverts. Yeah, okay, very strange. Maxim says, Alicante's METAR indicating plus 27 currently. Would you leave the flaps 1 at this temperature? Nope, that would have to be above 30 degrees for the flaps to be left at 1. Good knowledge though, Maxim. Great question. So in really hot weather in the 320, you might see the airplane sitting on the apron with the flaps down a bit. That's because there's a risk of the hot air sensors thinking that the wings are overheating in the really hot weather, so we leave the flaps out to prevent that problem happening. I don't know why. I don't know if it ventilates behind the flaps or something. I don't know what triggers it to be better. But yeah, it's that is not going to be required today at 27. It's also a big pain because if you have the flaps down, fuelers may not want to attach to the wing because, of course, the if I go underneath the wing, so the fuel caps are usually about here and here, or depending. Not all aircraft have them on both wings. Some of them just on the right wing. It depends what your airline chose. But yeah, the problem is with the flaps out, the flaps at the back are lowered, the slats are lowered, and they're much bigger than you think. Even flaps 1 is a lot more metal than you realise. It always amazes me when I do walk-arounds with the flaps down. So some fuelers won't attach. Their truck could hit the flaps. They don't want to be responsible for damaging the wing or the flaps, which would be a huge issue. Victor Tango, good to see you. Enjoy your dinner. Yeah, I wish I was preferring mine. I tell you that. But yeah, so if the flaps are down, fuelers may not connect, so you may have to bring the flaps up using a supplementary procedure, which is a bit of a nuisance, and ultimately it makes it a bit of a waste of time because you have to bring them in as soon as a fueler arrives, which these days is almost straight away unless you're leaving the aircraft for a while. If you're leaving the aircraft overnight, you can't leave the flaps out either, and that's what really makes me laugh. So you park up, say you park up in 35 degrees at the end of the day and the airplane's not going anywhere. Thanks Casanova for your subscription. Yeah, say you parked up and you're not going anywhere, so you want to leave the airplane. Well, if you turn off the ADIRs while the flaps are in the position 1, what happens is there's a travel limiter on the rudder which adjusts how much rudder authority you can get. The idea being that if you're going really fast like this, like we are here, you don't want that rudder to be able to move fully because it would be too much for the airplane. The rudder's very powerful on these aircraft because that rudder's designed to handle the airplane in the event of an engine failure. So let's say we had an engine failure here and the pilots reacted themselves. Obviously the autopilot can handle it, but maybe it's not engaged or whatever. You don't want that rudder to be travelling to its full travel like it would just after takeoff, because it would really damage, you'll structurally damage the tail fin because it's so powerful. So anyway, the point is that travel limiter is in a different position when the flaps are down compared to when they're up. So if you were to put the flaps down, turn off the ADIS, walk off the airplane, and the wind's blowing around that rudder, it would actually blow around and it could damage that travel limiter in the tail. So you have to bring them up then as well anyway. It's a bit of a silly one at times, but it's a procedure, so we follow it, obviously. It's just how it goes. Yeah, so again, anyone who hasn't seen, Simwings support now has applications open, which is great news. Applications are open. They got some videos out, so if you follow that link and click on applications, or apply, sorry, the link in the chat, then you can apply to the program if you think it's something that you would be a good candidate for. And also, of course, you can donate on their PayPal link they've very kindly provided. James says, go for an Uber Eats. Consider the cabin crew bringing you dinner. Just make sure the FO has something different and doesn't pinch yours as per the rules. Yeah, James, indeed. Yeah, we may have to do that, although I don't know if that's going to take longer. But the FO is very good. She hasn't ever tried to take my food. There's a couple of foods she really likes: pizza and mayonnaise and crisps. She likes crisps. Nothing spicy, obviously, but she'll try and eat sort of oily foods, which is really funny. You'd think a cat wouldn't be interested in oil, but yeah, oil and mayonnaise. Inexplicably, mayonnaise is incredibly popular with her. Although I think I've read online that's relatively common. Jake Point would like to apply for 3070. Very good. Maxim says, it's above 30. I thought it was above 25 for the flap temperature. Is there any similar procedure for very cold temperatures? I saw aircraft in Moscow parked with full flaps at -20 in winter. That's a good question. In very cold weather, if you cross the moon, enjoy your dinner. And Reese, good to see you. Yeah, so in very cold weather, the flaps, you definitely want them up. But if you land in icing conditions, i.e. you land whilst there is ice building up on the leading edge of the wing, then if you've got the flaps out, then not only is there ice on the leading edge of the wing, on the slats, it could be behind the slats as well, because of course the slats are down in that position. Same with the flaps. There's a leading edge to the actual they're Fowler flaps. There's a slot, and then the flap panel could have ice on it as well. So if you've landed with ice building up behind the slats and sort of behind or in front of the flaps, then you retract them while you taxi in. You could damage the mechanisms, you could damage the wing. You're not supposed to do it. You're supposed to taxi clear and get them inspected or cleaned with de-icing fluid or by engineers. Same if you land on snow and use max reverse, so blasting reverse, snow's flying everywhere, that could again be getting stuck in those flap mechanisms. So that's why you might park up with the flaps out in those conditions, just to get them inspected. However, you don't want to leave the airplane like that, because of course you want the flaps up, because we have them up for de-icing. So you want to get them cleaned and then retracted. So yeah, they could be that reason. Yeah, it's definitely possible. Daniel says, do you have any favourite paid for mods or add-ons? You mean for Microsoft Flight Simulator? Mods? I use the free flight recorder. That's excellent. I'm going to try out the Navigraph toolbar. I keep forgetting to install that. I've been focusing on these other videos. So yeah, that should be good. Aircraft, I've got the couple. The Aerosoft CRJ I think is excellent. I bought the Waco YMF5. That's very good. Mako Simulations Manchester is very good as well. That's great. I've got the Gatwick, freeware Gatwick from flightsim.to. That's great. I can tell you what wasn't worth it was the 747 and 787 that came included by default, but now there's the heavy division mod for the 787, which I'm hoping to do something with soon. Pavel, good to see you. Pavel Khrushchev, thanks for coming along. Lawrence Drape says, played golf with the real 320 pilot last week. Said he hates the NEO engines. Shakes his head when he walks to the aircraft. Oh, I don't know why. I must admit, I don't have the same feeling. I quite like the NEO engines. But there is a difference in flying it, no doubt. No worries, Maxim. Reese says lovely conditions for your stream. Yeah, for once we've got just stunning day here. Abby Man says, we're eager to help you guys. Give it a shot. Show us you really want it and that you really deserve it. Apply on the website, and if you have any questions, let us know here in chat. There you go. Abby Man has been working very hard on it. And Abby Man, of course, another YouTuber and streamer. Abby Man's been working hard for the last few months, so hasn't streamed for a little while. But I think there were a couple of streams just a couple of weeks ago, which is great. But yeah, Dougal and Abby Man have been working hard on the Simwings project. Well, they created it. I don't have the freeway Alicante scenery, Ed. Sorry, no, I don't. I've just had the Paris one. That's my fault. No, I had no noticeable performance issues with Gatwick, Jonathan. Nope. I've got the latest NVIDIA drivers, which I don't know, seems to have improved because I haven't updated my drivers for a long time, and now I'm finding the simulator a little bit better. But my main joy is that I've got the frame rate limiter on, which should, well, it's definitely helping me record videos, which is such a relief. FlexTemp, Thomas, you need a performance calculator. That's what the airlines use, I'm afraid. Yeah, which we don't have in the simulator. Pavel says, what is the best way to reset MCDU for the return flight? Well, after you land, it automatically resets itself. It should just go to a blank page and you can just start from scratch. If for any reason that doesn't happen, the way to clear the MCDU is you go aircraft status. Oh, but it doesn't work here, but you'd swap to that database and then swap back to the current database. So by swapping databases, it just dumps everything. It loses its flight plan, the backup information. Yeah. Lauren V says, some people must really like the IAE buzzsaw noise. Yeah, exactly, yeah. I bought Microsoft Flight Simulator in Steam. Yeah, I went with Steam. Paddy says, let me know if there's a particular 787 livery that you want and can't find anywhere. I have been having fun painting on it lately. Ah, interesting, Paddy. I might do that, yes. Yeah. Goodness me. I don't know, you've done some 787 liveries, Paddy. Which ones have you done? I'm always on the lookout for Paddy's livery. This, of course, being the Paddy livery reveal channel. How would I find that? Because I know the 747-8 we're struggling to get anything working with. No, that's not worked. Yeah, let us know if you've done any. Oh, let me know on Discord, Paddy. Just drop me a message if you feel like it, and I'll see if I can use it. James Renwick says, how common are real-world engine failures? Incredibly rare. Incredibly rare. If you hear someone having an engine failure, everybody talks about it because it's such a big deal. It's so rare. And I say it's a big deal. It's a big deal in the sense that it's like, oh, wow, I can't believe it actually happens. In terms of flying it, it's something we practice all the time, so it should be incredibly normal. Lauren V says, have you seen any of Paddy's Comet Heritage 787 liveries? They're all gorgeous. Would love to see one on stream. Okay. I will have a look. I can't believe I missed those. Lawrence says, takes ages to start, not as reactive and feels, less feel on windy approaches, so I'm told. Wow, well remembered. So Lawrence Draper is talking about their friend who flies the 320 and doesn't like the 320 NEO engines. In terms of taking ages to start, I think that, well, the LEAP engines are quicker to start on a cold start, but on a hot start, yeah, they're a bit slower. However, the IAE engines are slow anyway. If your friend was flying the CFM engines on the older engines, the CFM engines are excellent. They are the CFM engines are excellent in terms of startup. They take not long at all. The IAEs are very slow, so I assume your friend didn't fly the IAE engines before. Most IAE pilots like the NEO engines because they are just, they start up in about the same time or quicker. Whereas if you flew CFM engines before, these new ones start up slower or even much slower. Anyway, the other problem with the NEO engines being less responsive in windy conditions, I do agree with. They are slower, and as far as I can tell, it's because the airplane flies slower. The engines seem to sit at a lower RPM, and it just takes them longer to spool up, and you find larger fluctuations in speed than with the older engines. Also, ground speed mini is not as effective in the NEOs. It has a third of the speed change as the old ones. Those of you who've been with the channel for a while will know about the ground speed mini. So that's something that I definitely agree with. I don't like the NEOs in windy conditions as much as the older engines. Not to say it's an issue. It's just something different. And as pilots, we don't like different things. We get used to trying to keep everything the same, so we get very uncomfortable when something's different. If you've never flown the older aircraft, I'm sure the NEO would feel absolutely fine. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Marcel Dupree, thanks so much for your £2 donation. Really appreciate it, Marcel. Marcel says, been absolutely glad to support the channel again. Thank you so much. You've supported the channel so much. But thanks for coming along, and glad you're enjoying it. And thanks so much for your £2 donation. Really kind. Ed says, any plans for a group flight anytime soon? Really want to join in next time. Yeah, I don't see why not. Again, I've got a couple of little sort of projects this week. It's a bit of an interesting week, so I'm hoping to share those with you guys soon. But as ever, things always take longer than I think they will. So yeah, group flight. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks we'll get a group flight sorted. I used to do them every month, and they just slip. We haven't thought where to go yet. Our last one was where was our last group flight? It was great fun, I remember. Where was the last group flight? How am I even... It was Caribbean, wasn't it? Yeah, we flew around the Caribbean. Yeah, it was good fun. Oh, there we go. Dougal and Aviman recruiting Paddy for the Simwings. Yeah, Paddy's absolutely an artist when it comes to deliveries. Always done amazing work. Paddy did the Havilland Comet, Homage, and Air France and Olympic. Ah, excellent. So let's look up the Comet. I might not use those for the video that I want to work on. Oh, there's the Olympic Classic. Oh, that does look fantastic, doesn't it? And Air France. Yeah, excellent. Excellent stuff. That's great. Yeah, it looks just like a comet. Okay, cool. I'll hopefully get those into a video at some point, or a stream perhaps, if we ever stream the 787. Right. Super 6 Bravo says, what is dual cooling for Pratt & Whitney engines? So on the Pratt & Whitney NEO aircraft, the dual cooling, it allows you to just motor both engines at the same time because they need to spin around to cool down. So yeah, it does work on the Toliss A320 NEO. Obviously, we only have the LEAP engines here, which don't have that feature. Alice says, why can't I watch back from the beginning? I don't know, I'm afraid. You should be able to. I usually have that set to be on. Let me just check. The DVR is on, so you should be able to, but it's just misbehaving, I'm afraid. So I can't help now. It might work later. Yeah, YouTube's not being very happy with us today. Teasing, can't see them yet. Indeed. Mark says, oh, retromancer DC6. Oh, there we go. Yeah, imagine that. Well, yeah, so the PMDG DC6 can't be far away, can it? So imagine if we could have the DC6 in the Manta livery. That would be fantastic. We'll all wait for Paddy for the hard work, to do the hard work on that one. Rishab says, love the new video explaining the speed protection systems on the Airbus. Glad you liked it, Rishab. Yep, excellent. Thanks for coming along and saying so. Yeah, I was pretty pleased that they added that into the A320. No worries with this. No worries. Yeah, a few people are wanting Paddy to do the DC6. Paddy's, oh yeah, Paddy has got so many great retro liveries already out there, so I bet a lot of those would look great on the DC6. And of course, Paddy, I'm hoping that we'll see an Air 2000 tapestry livery on the DC6. Lauren V says, if you time the dual cooling properly with the Pratt & Whitney's, the startup time is fine even when hot. Yeah, I don't think it's not shockingly long, is it? Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Right, let me... oh, we've got some clouds coming. They are coming. Just as we head over the Alps. No surprise there. Any sort of wind and you'll get, obviously, a bit of air going over the Alps into a bit of a wave, which will create that effect. MPS says, greetings from Sweden. Just did an amazing flight. Copenhagen to Gatwick with Airbus A320 NX fly-by-wire. They do a great job with the development of the last version. Yeah, fantastic. Hope you enjoyed it, MPS Gaming. Right. Apparently if you do control... or if you reload... oh, no, message is gone. Paddy says, Tapestry Air 2000 D6 is a must. Yeah, can you imagine? That would be fantastic. Excellent. Checkpoint says, already filling Paddy's backlog. I know, poor Paddy. We're always demanding liveries off him. John says, there's always turbulence over the Alps in FS 2020. Don't know how realistic it is, though. So there isn't always turbulence over the Alps in the real life. So I know Flight Simulator does its clever stuff with winds over the terrain. It is a little bit overdone with the Alps, I think. We'll see. We'll see what happens today. I mean, the wind is 24 knots, so not much wind coming from in front of us. So I'm expecting to get a few bumps. Hold on. Yeah. Let me check. Yeah. Yeah, cool. So yeah, so expecting a bit of bumps before we get there. In real life, if it was 24 knots like this in the cruise and I was at 37,000 feet, the Alps go up to 18,000 feet in the highest point. So I wouldn't be sitting here thinking I'm going to get turbulence. To be honest with you, I would expect to see no turbulence. It should be nice and smooth. So Gosh says, I see here the mic volume has been increased. Oh well, that's good. And hopefully you can hear the aeroplane today. Let me know if the aeroplane audio is a bit too quiet. Hayden says, the hold smells of uranium today. What's going on? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Mark, thanks so much, Mark, for your £10 donation. Really appreciate it. Mark says, just a thank you. Thank you, Mark. That's really kind of you. I hope you're doing very well. Thank you for supporting the channel. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, very kind. Mark supports the channel a lot, as have many of you. So yeah, that's incredibly kind. Thank you so much. Yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mark. Zephyr says the Pyrenees, not the Alps. Yeah, have I got that wrong again? That's just something I wanted to check. That's what I was trying to piece together. Yeah, yeah. I saw France, and for some reason in my head we were here, but no, of course we're not. We're heading straight over the Pyrenees. So yeah, done that before on the stream, and we'll do it again, I'm sure. Well, definitely no turbulence. These should be a bit lower. Unbelievable. Right, let's close that. Hopefully you can't rewind the stream and see that again. But yeah, thank you again, Mark, for that donation. Really appreciate it. James says, still waiting for the Thunderbird's livery for the Beluga that was requested way back in an old stream. It is out, James. There is a Thunderbirds 2 livery, I'm pretty sure, on one of the forums. I'm sure I've seen one. Yeah, and thanks, Zephyr, for correcting the terrain we're going over. DG27 says, yes sir, Air 2000 was in jump seat into Tenerife, aimed at checkerboard on the mountain before the turn. Fantastic, yeah. Very lucky to be on the jump seat in the good old days when you could do that, eh? Must have been good fun. Elisa's Maggie says, when are you going to redo the CRJ flight? Yeah, that's a good question. I think because it wasn't the CRJ that was the problem, I couldn't stream Flight Simulator for some reason. I think that's sort of resolved now. Well, I hope so. It seems to be working today anyway, so far. Airplane sound is perfect. Not too loud but noticeable. Excellent checkpoint. That's good to know. You could waste the hold against Aiden. What's going on in the hold? I don't know what's going on with you guys. Yeah, so the CRJ should be absolutely fine to stream. Today I wanted to. There was no Simwings livery for the CRJ, so we needed to use the Simwings livery today in support. So absolutely no problem there. As always, good to be back in the 320, of course, or 321. Pavel says, with great pleasure to your channel and streams, is it possible one more time about the fuel page and extra fuel when we take it, when we use it? Yeah, no problem, Pavel. So, and Rory, thanks so much, Rory Marshall, for your £5 donation. That's very kind, Rory. Rory says, thanks from me too. Your tutorials videos are always excellent. Really appreciate it, Rory. Thanks so much for your £5 donation. Again, there's no need to support the channel, but I really appreciate it when you do. It's very kind. And yeah, I hope you're doing very well. Thanks for coming along and thanks for supporting the channel, and I hope you're enjoying the lovely weather in the UK today. Seeing as there, £5 must be in the UK. And I can just see as well, Jonathan has just donated $20. Goodness me. Jonathan, thanks so much. Jonathan says, for $20 donation, let's go for a second round, because why not? Jonathan, that's incredibly kind of you. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I never really do when you guys always being far too generous, because Jonathan's already donated $20 earlier. So thanks so much, Jonathan. Yeah, sorry I didn't quite spot that one straight away, but thank you, really appreciate it. So Jonathan's donated $40. Goodness me, that's very kind. I hope you're doing very well, Jonathan, and thanks so much. Really, really kind. Yeah, I don't know what to say, but really, really appreciate it. And I'm sorry it doesn't stay on the screen. I don't have the sort of the ticker tape for donations running on my screen, but yeah. Dougal says, many thanks for those who have donated to Simwings. So that's great. Thank you to those of you who have as well. Really, really appreciate it. And I'm sure Dougal and Aviaman and whoever is lucky enough to be the winner of the, or not winner, the selected candidate is going to appreciate it as well. But yeah, thanks so much, Jonathan. That's very kind of you. And of course, Rory, and everybody who's been so generous. Very kind of you guys. And Gareth, thanks for subscribing. There we go, Richard V's found it. The forum mini builds, there's a link. Excellent. So yeah, there is a Thunderbirds one. Addict says, Xbox version on July 27th and free Top Gun expansion in November. There's a Top Gun expansion? Well, that's obviously part of the new film. What is the Top Gun expansion going to be? Alright, I've got to Google that. Sorry, everyone. Okay, PC Gamer talking about it. Same with the new movie. So what's the expansion going to involve? So the console port, and there's warplanes whizzing around. Looks like you'll be playing as themed pilots with a whole hangar full of military aircraft to take to the skies. Really? I won't play the video on the stream because I'll probably get copyrighted or some issue if there's some Top Gun music in it. Right. Sorry, that's... yeah, Pavel, thanks so much, Pavel, for your... wow, 899 ruble donation. Really appreciate it. Pavel says, just be with us, sir. Thanks so much, Pavel. Really appreciate it. It's very kind. And yeah, thanks for coming along to the stream as always, and thanks for supporting the channel. And here's the turbulence. So yeah, I wouldn't really expect any turbulence in these conditions. I mean, it's possible. It's always possible to get a bit of rumbling, but I wouldn't be overly worried about it happening. Brandon M, if you want to make a donation to Simwings, go to 330 Simpilot, yeah. If you go to the description for the video, and then there it says to donate to Simwings, there's a PayPal link. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been upgraded to the 330, sadly. Okay, we haven't got any details. James says maybe some cinematic trickery, but appears supersonic jets, but certainly aircraft carriers. Ah, well, I'm going to love that. But again, I do have DCS, and I know DCS is hard to get into, but I suppose if I could put an aircraft carrier anywhere, obviously like you can an X-plane, then that would be good fun. I mean, it better be the F-14, hadn't it, really? I sincerely hope so. Yeah, thank you for all those who subscribed. There's been absolutely loads, and I do apologise if I've missed your names. It's just Object, Mary, Anders, and Gareth, I think I said. And yeah, thank you again, Pavel, for that very generous donation. Really appreciate it. And also, of course, Jonathan and Rory, and everyone else, Mark. it's all incredibly kind. I really, really want to know. Oh, the stream's lagging again, is it? I do apologise. Thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, very kind. Landing into Innsbruck. Kai, enjoy your landing. I hope it goes well. Yeah, there's the turbulence. So, soon we're going to need to prepare our descent. I don't think there's much else to talk about new in the A32NX right now. It's been stable, happy. I know there's some new sound effects coming, which I'm looking forward to. Abby Man says, this project is also open to anyone that already has a PC, but maybe is a bit outdated. Upgrade your PC and get a new one. Apply today. It's free. See your happy face later is our payback. Yeah, there you go. Very kind, very generous. And I know they get a lot of applications, but yeah, do if you think it's suitable for you, do apply. Isaac says, seems like the Toliss update has changed the MCDU a fair bit. Would be interesting to see what you think of it. Okay, yeah, I'll have to give it an update. Oh, a lot of buffering. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. Seekers Islands, thanks for coming along. Hopefully that sorts out before the approach. Again, the simulator's running just fine, but the stream seems to be getting continuously upset. Yeah, it's good news for those on Xbox. First time Flight Simulator's been on Xbox, so that is great. Okay, I'm just watching that little trailer. So there's F-18's aircraft carrier. Yeah, so that's Maverick's F-18, 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 and there's the F-18. Looks good though, nice cockpit. Oh, I'll be having a look at some screenshots from that. And oh no. Oh dear, that's disappointing. Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it, but yeah, plenty of F-18 in there. Elisa Maggie says buffering a bit, tell the FO to stop torrenting. Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen the new Top Gun trailer, but there's okay, I'll tell you, I'm a huge fan of a particular aeroplane, like many of you I'm sure, the Blackbird SR-71. Huge fan, amazing machine. So you can imagine that I don't like to see it changed or adjusted to pretend it's something that it wasn't, because it doesn't need to be, because it's such an amazing machine on its own. And you could if an SR-71 taxied out of a hangar today and it was made by a company, it wouldn't look outdated. Everyone would go, wow, look at that thing, amazing. So you don't need to change it. That's what I'm going to say. Oh dear, so much lagging. Danny Rubble says, but that buffering isn't only with your streams, it happens to me with more streams. Oh, that's annoying. Maybe one day we're going to have to go to Twitch. I don't know. People don't seem to have this issue with Twitch. Lauren V says, I don't know, the new Top Gun being like the F-18, which feels so wrong. Yeah, I don't mind it being the F-18 if they do it properly. The F-18 is a pretty cool machine. But I'd like to see the F-14 appear. That would be fun. Rosie says refreshing's worked for me. It seems perhaps remove that. Yeah, so please refresh if you're getting a bad stream. Hopefully I'll sort of bump up the connection. Yeah, Dougal. Yeah, it could be time to try Twitch. I know. I'm gonna have to do a lot of working out in my mind to figure out how to get Twitch to work. But that may be the way we have to go here. I hope not. But I can't deal with this constant delay really. So, not delay, but yeah. Sunday evening lets Google's server run toasty. Yeah, maybe that's the problem, Rakon. Okay, if you have found refreshing work, so do please refresh if you're having trouble. And then it gets upset again. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Glad it's not just me though. A lot of people struggling with YouTube tonight. Disappointing, but there we go. So is life. There'll be greater problems, I'm sure. Refreshing's work for a lot of people. Even if it lasts you 5 minutes, don't worry. You just have to do that probably, well, 8 more times. Rabbit747, thanks so much for your £10 donation. Really appreciate it. Rabbit says, can you turn down the aircon? Can you turn the aircon down a bit, please? It's boiling here today. Thanks, Rabbit. I really appreciate the £10. Very kind. Yeah, certainly. It's 24 in the cabin, in fact. So that's a good point. So let's turn that aircon down. That's probably somewhere there this time of year. It sounds silly, but you'll find that people do, you know, for the first part of the flight anyway, you'll have it set a bit colder than you would in the winter, that's for sure. Refreshing seems to work. Excellent. But thanks so much, Rabbit747, for that £10 donation. Really appreciate it. I hope you've been enjoying the weather a little bit in the UK today. Lauren V says, not Top Gun with that, the Tomcat or Goose. Lauren, I don't think Lauren's going to enjoy the new Top Gun film. They might not feature those things. Oh, some more turbulence. And we've got a center controller. So I've spent the entire time where we've had very low workload chatting, and now we're going to get very high workload and start our descent, and I'm not going to be ready, which would be pretty standard for the channel. It could be an issue with this center. I agree, Hayden. Yeah, it could be. Right, hopefully. 3235. Center, Simwings 279, flight level 370 to Posse.
Victor Sierra Whiskey 279, radar contact.
There we go. We've checked in. Excellent stuff. Right. Anyway, so we've talked about Top Gun. So yeah. So the trailer shows an F-18, an aircraft carrier, and one other aeroplane. Thanks, Motim, for your subscription. Pavel says, a little buffering is a small price to pay for your great stream as always. That's very kind. Thanks, Pavel. Maybe I'll put up, well, I was thinking of putting up like a vote as to who would be happy to swap to Twitch. But I know what the answer will be if I do it as a vote.
Simwing 101, low, set squawk 5706.
Squawk 5706.
There's another Simwings. Excellent, excellent. Right, anyway, let's get an ATIS. Send. Hopefully nice weather where we're going. I think it will be. Richard V says, I saw a real SR-71 on USS Intrepid in New York a few years ago. I was surprised how small it really is. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, yeah. The Intrepid Museum in New York is incredible. That's great, Richard. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's not the biggest, but remember, it only had two pilots, so or two crew. So it was a small aeroplane. Although for two crew, it's actually quite big. But yeah, it's just an amazing machine. SR-71 is like the XP-70, says Lauren V. Overrated and obsolete by the time it entered service. Ooh, wow. Well, there's a statement, Lauren. Gonna start an argument here. Alright, let's print that one out. Yeah, shots fired, says Dougal. But you know, Lauren can fire those shots, but the SR-71 will be at Mach 3 and 70,000 feet before they ever get anywhere near it. So I'm not worried. Right, let's put that ATIS up there. Alicante, information Yankee. Let's write that down. Nice big writing. Yankee. And we've got QNH 1018. Good stuff. So still high pressure. 070 degrees, 8 knots. Cav okay. Temperature 26. Nice day. So let's put in our arrival. So it's going to be a runway 10. Oh, non-precision then. Oh dear, I keep giving myself non-precision approaches. So probably the VOR 10 Zulu. Sorry for the buffering, guys. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Thank you for your subscriptions. Some people are setting the stream for 30 seconds behind. Yeah, I've got normal latency on. I was hoping that would help, but that's not helping. And I can't change it midstream, sadly, to low latency. What I am going to do in the meantime then, thank you all for sticking with it. The buffering must be really frustrating, so yeah, I do appreciate it. Nothing's different from last time. The computer is, let me just check, yeah, we're not using the Wi-Fi, we're using the Ethernet cable. We should have fibre internet that should work. So John says Twitch sucks though because it shows adverts even as premium members, can't be doing with ads. Yeah, that's not great. But it, I think Twitch just shows adverts when you sign in, when you start watching, doesn't it? Daniel says I can help you get set up on Twitch. Like, thanks, Daniel. Yeah, we'll see where we go. The only thing is, of course, my community is built on sort of YouTube videos as well as streams. So if I went to Twitch, it would be a little bit, you know, the audience would obviously, some of the YouTube audience might not find the streams. I don't know. Maybe a bit like starting from scratch. Although obviously it definitely wouldn't be, because I'm sure some of you guys would come along. But it might be a bit strange having a divided sort of platform like that. I don't know. I don't know if it's been done before. I don't know if anyone's converted like that. Okay, let's let me see. Let's get the charts. So we are going to arrive via VLC. So let me bring the charts up for you guys. So oh, where is it? VLC, is it this one? Runway 10. Our flight plan was a 2 kilo for 10. But of course, we haven't actually. The flight plan doesn't actually matter in the sense that it's not what we've told it. So let's see if we can find the 2 kilo. Valencia 2 kilo. So one of those, followed by, oh, there's an Alice Zulu 10. Normally the ILS is show up first, but there we go, ILS 10. Okay, I'll stop whinging. That suggests that this is the more common approach at the airport, because they bothered to install an ILS for it. A little surprise. Normally you don't get the ILSs on the air side of the terrain, so that's good news. Is it 3 degree? Yeah, 3 degree ILS, no problems there. Alright then. There's a Chanix out there, excellent. So we're going with Valencia. Let's go with 2 kilo. Oh. We'll compare the differences in a minute. So there's a flight plan. In terms of RadNav, it will tune the ILS a bit later. Progress page. 3 Lima. They've been given the Valencia 3 Lima. Obviously not the one I've set. So if I scroll across, I should keep the approach and just select the Valencia 3 Lima. There we go. Even easier. I could have just asked. That would have also been good. I didn't know this controller was issuing those descents, but yeah, asking always helps. Right, LEAL runway 10. It's progress page, perf page. Let's set in some of this weather. Before we do that, I'm just going to leave that up there, but let's look at the chart just to make sure we know what we're doing. So I can get rid of that one. We're doing the Valencia 3 Lima. And then we're going to have the approach, ILS Zulu 10, and then we're going to have the, oh, too many charts of the grounds. Yeah, it's all this construction, utterly hopeless. How is anyone going to interpret all that? There we go. So we'll land 10, vacate, Charlie 2 or Charlie 4, 3,000 meter runway, nice and long, so low auto brake, and then go and park lots and lots of crammed in stands, but that's all very straightforward, hopefully, he says. The Valencia 3 Lima, so we come in and we obviously use a Valencia VOR. Down we go to... I see why. Okay, Valencia to Vilna, which was the via point initial approach fix. From Vilna, we fly this arc, which it probably isn't going to manage, so we'll do our best around and then fly in on the course 100 ILSDME, 3 degree, lots of high terrain around. The terrain beneath us in this sector is pretty high, so we need to be 5,900 feet on the arc, and then it's an 18-mile ILS almost, which is incredibly long. Yeah, and it's a long approach. No problem there. Yeah, no problem there. Okay, so we'll come down. What's the DME for the arc based on? It's on the Alpha Lima Tango 113.8, so I'm going to tune that in here.
1155, passing 114, climbing 240.
That way I can actually see the DME to it.
1155, Barcelona control, reader contact, climb flight level 400, direct Lumas.
Climbing flight level
Good
400,
stuff.
direct Lumas, Lufthansa 115.
Right, so performance page, QNH 1018, temperature 26, lovely and warm, surface wind 0708, transition altitude, did they write it in the ATIS? Yes they did. It's obviously the level is 70.
Barcelona radar,
Oh.
Swiss 218 Romeo 5000, climbing flight level 240.
There we go.
218 Romeo, Barcelona control.
Put in 7,000 in there. Should say transition level, but there we go. And the minima.
Climb flight
Normal,
level 360,
straight in RS for Cat's the airplane, 412. No problem there. Config full landing. Go in altitude if we need it.
Simwings 279, expect ILS approach from 10 and Valencia 3 Lima arrival.
Expect altitude 10, Valencia 3 Lima, Simwings 279. There we go. That's confirmed what we thought. Yeah, so we're going to 4,000 feet in the end if we go around. Fuel prediction, loads of extra fuel, all looking good. 1.6 tons, about an hour, excellent. Secondary isn't working, so that's pretty much set up. Descent point next, I suppose. How many track miles have we got to go? 189. Oh, we're getting there. 165, yeah, about 40 miles, and we'll be heading on down. Sun's just starting to set, so it should be a nice sunset landing into destination. Right, what's going on in the chat? Perfectly balanced as always, says Chip Point, excellent. Other streamers having major lag right now too. Okay, Dougal. Chip Point says maybe there are too many illegally watching the European Championship on YouTube. Yeah, maybe. Sundays are busy, says DG. Yeah. Stats winners on this stream show some interesting buffer health. Oh yeah, the buffer health is... I dread to think. I don't even know how to see that actually. I think Streamlabs does tell me. But it stopped Streamlabs has stopped giving me the warnings actually. Rakon says, to avoid stream lag, you could launch the 320 Sim Pilot channel on TV. Channel 320, yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? Andrea says, sorry for the problems with the stream. It is buffering every 2 seconds. Ah, that's a shame. Sorry, guys. Reverend says, just came back from Heathrow after seeing Air Force One take off. Wow, pretty cool. Checkpoint says, is it possible to stream to both, or won't your internet connection be too happy? No, I think it is possible. I think it is possible. John has tried Microsoft Edge. The stream is very behind for me, says Simwings. Yeah, I think it's quite behind for some people. Because I'm getting answers... You guys are answering some things that I've said sort of 10 minutes ago, which is it's my fault. But, yeah, I think there's some strange things. Haters even says RS, yeah. Talk too quickly. Right, so you guys are... I'm just getting those messages, but I yeah. Let me try... live chat, see if that helps. Yeah, H says RS, yeah. It does actually say expect RS Zulu, so I could have spotted that before I started making up VORs. Again, normally my excuse for jumping to that conclusion is that if you go into the approach page here, arrival, normally the ILSs are listed first. So if there aren't any, then it gives you the non-precision approaches. John says, I keep getting the stream minus 30 seconds, but somehow it catches up. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think it's missing some frames or something. Chippoint says, with these pauses, we'll be watching you while you have your dinner. As long as we get all the content, I'm happy. Yeah, yeah, that may be what happens. So I'm guessing what's happening is you're getting all the video, but it's pausing and then carrying on from where it paused from, which is putting it way, way, way behind. We've lost so many viewers. My goodness. Yeah, a lot of people have given up, and I'm not surprised. This is coming on to the lowest number we've had in a long time. Oh dear. Thank you guys for putting up with it, those of you who are sticking with it, but please don't feel obliged. You know, do head off if it's too frustrating, and I just hope it all goes up as a full video. Hayden says you can dual stream YouTube and Twitch. There we go. It could be the way we have to go. Maybe I'll set up a Twitch channel. James, thanks so much for your £5 donation. Really appreciate it, James. James says you should take a trip to Duxford to have a look around the SR-71. Yes, I should do that. I'd love to see an SR-71 fly, but yeah, I should go and look at that one. Thanks very much for that donation, James. Really appreciate it. Very kind. I hope you're doing very well. And thanks so much for supporting the channel so much over the last few months. Really, really kind. Pavel says, no Twitch please, I'm too old to learn new things. So to those of you watching, and you know, we know you're the most I don't say loyal, you don't need to be loyal, but you know, you're my the strong community here, people that have stuck with this stream despite all the problems. I promise Twitch is not so hard. It'll literally just be account, find my account, and then it'll tell you when I'm live, and you just click on it and watch it. And I think it shows you an advert from when I've used it to watch other people. It shows you an advert, and then you're in, and then you're watching, and there's a chat box, and it's all very straightforward. Dougal says, I thought that too, but finally seeing the advantage. Yeah. John says, Twitch does show mid-reel ads when you watch old streams back. I tried to watch one of the London controllers once, and it was for students ads. Ah, that's a shame, but yeah, that can happen. Lauren V says, seems to take slightly less time every time it buffers using the desktop website than the mobile app. Okay. I've had people tell me to swap to Twitch before, and I've always sort of resisted, but this is becoming a bit of an issue. Twitch is more set up for live streaming, of course, being a platform designed entirely for it. Videos obviously would still have to go to YouTube. I know the ads are a pain as well, if it helps, and I'm sure it doesn't, but if it helps, I think on Twitch the adverts provide some income to the channel. I think. So, although you get the adverts, I suppose it's a bit like a small donation towards the channel. But I don't know if that's reassuring or not. Probably not. Right, let's set that water break. So I've got to do it manually with my little rotary dial. So I set it to low. There we go.
Mach decimal 55, 290 knots, 83 Papa Kilo.
That sun is going down a bit quicker than I'd hoped. We might find ourselves sitting here in the dark for the landing.
Easy 34 Bravo November, final for runway 05.
I see, yeah, John's not happy having all those adverts during the playback of the old ones. Yeah.
Easy 34 Bravo November.
I've got a I don't know if you guys know, I've got a chart. A chart displays on my screen whilst I'm streaming, and it shows it's like YouTube Studio, and it shows all of the viewership numbers for the video, and usually, you know, it sort of goes up during the taxi out, and then the dips after takeoff, and then sometimes it goes up for landing, sometimes it doesn't, and then you land. And it's not, you know, it's not a huge concern either way, but it's just the page that comes up by default. But this stream, it goes up. We're doing really well right up until we took off, and then it's just gone down, and then there's some aggressive, like, sudden drops of. So we're down to, it said 63 people a second ago. Again, I my first stream, I think we had 12, but yeah, it's it must be frustrating watching a stream like this. It must be. Anyway, we'll stop talking about it. Maybe if we stop talking about it, you can enjoy the video for those of you who are staying. So it's going to be descent time soon. 132 miles to go. We're at 37,000 feet. We have got a headwind, so no real problems there. I'll grab the descent clearance, I think, and just gradually bumble down. Not much room for a shortcut. It's a pretty direct routing. If I go to plan and zoom in. Yep, so we can't really get a shortcut. We're going around the DME arc and in. And I'd be curious to see, last time we tried the DME arc in the fly-by-wire A32NX, it just didn't work. So hopefully that's changed now, because I know they seem to have updated the navigation. I know it's still the default one, but it seems to be a bit better. I'm also going to bring up the flight recorder. Please, somebody remind me to start the recorder on final approach. Checkpoint says, no excuses this evening, the stream just cuts out if anything happens. Yeah, exactly, yeah, I'll just put all the cables out of the computer like in a film. Marco says, in real life in this place it's easy to get a shortcut from Vilna to a 10-mile final, and if you don't anticipate it you're in for a bad surprise. Ah, interesting, so there is some room for a shortcut. Let's have a look. So we'll cut out the arc, will we? So that's Vilna, so it'd be Vilna there. Okay, so because you know, a shortcut earlier on we can fix, but that's a late shortcut, so I can see why that would be an issue. Even though it's not much of a track mile adjustment, at this late in the process, it actually can have quite a good effect. Okay, interesting. No problem, we'll be ready for that.
Iberia 8377 directo Opera.
Yeah, thanks Marco, thanks for that. And let's get our descent in light of that. Simwings 279, request descent.
Simwings 279, descent flight level 170.
Descent flight level 170, Simwings 279. Right. Oh, come on, mouse. Stop going up. There we go, 170. I think this is an open descent day. Thrust side open descent. Down we go. Engine spooling back. Ed says, I'm back. Dinner outside tonight in Novelty at the moment. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Dinner outside. How lovely. Duxford, well worth a visit. Okay, I will have to do that. DH Simulations, good to see you. We're struggling through some lag, but otherwise we're just starting descent into Alicante. Should be a beautiful sunset. Hayden J. Robbins, thank you so much for your £3.20, the classic Hayden donation. Thank you, really appreciate it. Very kind. Hayden says, thanks as ever. No, thank you, Hayden, for supporting the channel so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you, really, really kind. I hope you're doing well, and thanks for sitting through all the difficulties we've been having. What is that there? Oh, it's just the sun, just the sun. Yeah, thank you, Hayden. Very kind. So here's the Simwings wing and livery again. Let's go outside. So one last time then, as we start our descent. Yeah, so we have used the Simwings support livery today because Simwings is a really nice cause that do an Aviom and set up. And it uses money that people kindly donate, and also sort of software and hardware that companies donate, and then they get a computer built and flight simulator stuff put on it, and then sent out to somebody who otherwise couldn't really get into the hobby. It goes to someone who's been, you know, trying, who's been working as part of the community, or has shown enthusiasm. Yeah, it's not just given out to anybody. They have a really detailed application process. They take it very seriously and make sure the money goes to the right place. And yeah, so today applications have reopened for people who would like to think they might be a good I don't know what the term is, not customer, somebody who thinks that the Simwings support might be aimed at them for a bit of support. So yeah, and it allows them to get more involved in the hobby if they're keen on it, because we all love flight simulation. So that's what it does, and applications are open today for those of you who think it might be suitable for you, and also obviously you can donate using the link in the description if you'd like to donate to their PayPal. The chat donation still comes to the 320 Sim Pilot channel, but there's a PayPal link in the description if you'd like to go to Simwings. But yeah, Avi Mandugal have worked very hard on it over the years, and they've done 3. They've shipped 3 simulators and computers already, which is great work, especially with what's been going on, because we all know that building a computer at the moment is incredibly difficult, and that's why we're using their livery today. And we're not the only ones. I think there'll be a few over the course of the day. And also, this is a lovely design on the livery. Really like it. Oh, is that traffic in front of us? That looks like a sort of contrail, but it should be too low, seeing as our contrail's turned off already. I don't know. Oh. Descend flight level 80, Simwings 279. And we're in the Earth shadow. There we go. It's just gone dark. Just as we started our descent, really. Down to 80. Abraham Ramati, thanks so much for your 10. Oh, I'm so sorry. I won't get that currency, but thanks so much for your 10 currency. They say, glad you found the ILS. Thank you, Abraham. Really kind of you. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for supporting the channel. I am glad I found it as well. Otherwise, it'd be a bit silly flying a VOR, and it might confuse the controller when I insist on a VOR. James says, Dux is my home airfield. Come say hi. Very good, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a distance, but yeah, they do have an SS-71, don't they? They've got a whole American hangar. Many people are watching the football, says Danny. Ah, yeah, of course. Pavel says, the cream of the crop viewers remain faithful. Excellent. Yeah, my chat must be running way behind. I'll do my best to coordinate the chat and the conversation. It's always a challenge of streaming where I'll say something, then it gets delayed, then you guys get to see it, then you guys answer, and then I'm talking about something else, and then I have the answers. That's the thing. I hope I get used to it anyway. Andy says, would you need extra screens to moderate two? Would we need extra screens to moderate 2 platforms at the same time? I'm easily confused. Yeah, I don't, to be honest with you, I don't know. If I swap to Twitch, I don't know if I'd stream on both at the same time or whether I would just stream on Twitch. But that's why I haven't done it yet, because I don't want to, you know, I want this channel to be accessible, and it feels more accessible when the videos and the streams are all in the same place. So it's something, you know, something I've thought about and has come up a lot, but I think Andy's asking for some business expenses there with like some screens sent out. That would be really hard for you guys to moderate both, though. Yeah, that would be a challenge. Alicia Maggie, thanks so much for your $5 donation. Really appreciate it. Alicia Maggie says, thanks for the stream content as always, brother. Good luck on the landing. Don't worry about the hashtags. That one, the one that matter are the numbers. Sorry, the numbers are the ones that matter here. Yeah, no, I never worry about them, because if anybody shows up to watch and chats, then I don't even need to chat. But if anyone shows up to watch, then I'm happy to do a stream. It's just great fun. So yeah, but thanks so much, Elise Maggie. Thanks for your really kind donation. Really appreciate it. DH Simulation says the sim seems to be stuttering. Yeah, it isn't on my screen. I promise. James says, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you get a free Twitch subscription. If you sub to 320 SimPilot, you won't get adverts, and SimPilot gets a part of that. Ah, there you go. So for anyone with Amazon Prime, it could be a pretty easy transition. Danny Rubel says, gives me a bit of wedding feel. Yeah, I can see why, the yellow and the grey. This livery is on the Simwings Discord. I had to actually convert it. It doesn't work with the A32NX, but if you install it, there's the converter in their installer, which is a genius piece of software, and that works really well. Such a great idea of them to include that. Brandon says, flight sim is such an expensive hobby. This is a great cause. Glad to have contributed. Thanks, Brandon. Thank you. And I'm sure everyone will really appreciate it. Thanks for contributing to the Simwings.
Barcelona radar. Good evening, Vueling 7820 with
there's
you
a Vueling.
level 180 on the NAP1 Quebec departure.
Vueling 7820 on radar contact, climb flight level 320.
Yeah, this is actual radio comms, but this is of other simulator pilots.
Climb flight level 320 and direct to Alpha Golf November, Welling 7820.
It's Radio Shekels, says Hayden. Wow, fantastic. People from all over. Thanks so much for that donation, really appreciate it.
Iberia 54 Mike.
Look at the scenery, it's so good. I can't get over it.
Iberia 54 Kilo, Roger,
With no effort, this is what everyone's going to get on their Xbox. They're just going to load up Flight Simulator and they're going to see the world so close to how we get to see it. And I'm hoping people on Xbox will be able to just go straight to the marketplace, get the fly-by-wire mod. I hope that works. Aristocrat says, this stuttering is unusual for me with YouTube and I've only had a couple of adverts. I really do not like Twitch. I hope you don't decide to change over. Thanks, Aristocrat. Thanks for the thought. Yeah. This is the reason I haven't done it, is that I know...
Simwings 279, descent flight level 70, and after Vilna, clear for ILS Sul approach, runway 10. QNH is 10... Let me see, 1018.
Thanks. So descend flight level 7. Sorry, for Simwings 279, we're going to descend flight level 70, and after Vilna, we're clear for the ILS runway 10 ILS Zulu on QNH 1018. That wasn't very well said of me. So 70 is the last level. Checkpoint says there's an EasyJet in front of you. There we go. Very good. Yeah, excellent. I think they took off in front of us. We must have caught up a bit. Balcho says, what computer did you use when you first started using Flight Simulator? Oh, FSX. Oh, FSX. I tried it on my parents' desktop, but it couldn't run it at all. So I eventually bought a laptop. It took me a lot of saving up to get that laptop. That was a good year of saving up every bit of money I could get. And I got a HP laptop. It had a dual-core processor, AMD, 1.9 gigahertz, I think. It had, I can't remember how much RAM, 180 gigabyte hard drive, and it had a graphics card, which was good for a laptop. But it was like a very, very small graphics card. Deep Future says they actually have this Eclipse in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's amazing. Yeah, it is amazing. It's very good. John says this Prime benefit sounds interesting. I definitely substitution invite if it's true, consider my objection withdrawn. Alex Sanger, welcome back. Hayden says don't leave YouTube, but you could consider dual streaming. Okay. Yeah, that's an idea as well. Does anyone else dual stream? I didn't know they did, to be honest with you. I thought it wasn't allowed at one point, but I don't know. Right. Anyway, it's time to focus up on what we're doing. And don't worry, everyone watching, to all of you watching now, I'm not about to stop streaming on YouTube. Nothing's about to happen. Long-time viewers of the channel know that I take things very slowly. I will be sticking with YouTube, certainly in the short and medium term. I'll also be making videos on YouTube in the short, medium, and long term. The only thing I might do is also stream on Twitch at some point, but I don't know yet. Maximilian says I wouldn't go to Twitch, but Trovo looks like a cool platform. There you go.
Bravo, Alpha, Victor, Jennifer, Mike. Did you see that on your FMS?
Right, let's get our checklist up. So, approach checklist briefing. We've done. ACAM status is checked. Let's just get those seatbelts on now. Close enough. So seatbelts are on. Barra ref is 412 sets. Oh, sorry. I'm getting that wrong. Barra ref is the QNH, obviously. Let's focus up a bit here. I'm getting a bit sidetracked. Checkpoint's just randomly shouting record. Do it a little bit closer to landing, please, Checkpoint. Thanks, Marcel. Really, really kind of you to say. Thank you. Right, I'm just looking at the chart. So we can go to 5,900 after Vilna, so I can't go to QNH until that. Let's zoom in. Hopefully it flies its arc, and there's the 5.9. So it's flight level 70, and then we'll descend to 5.9, and then we'll go on to QNH. Just going to turn on the LS buttons now, because why not? I'm going to have VOR 1 on my side so I can see that DME, just in case we need to fly that 20-mile arc ourselves. So there's the VOR DME. RLS DME will appear here as we get a bit closer. James says you'd need to adjust followers, subs, bit donations, and mote requests, sub gifts. Yeah, bit donations and sub gifts and so on. I don't understand at all on Twitch. Yeah. Victor Tango's off into Tom content. Good luck.
Simwings 279, speed 230 knots.
230 knots, Simwings 279. Okay, 230 knots. .230 knots, and hopefully it's going to head round. Let's get that terrain radar on. But we are very visual. Oh, absolutely love it. This is my favourite thing to do. Flying into sunset with hills around. Southern Spain's always very nice for this. XW says, will you fly the CJ4? Yeah, I will. I must try that again. We flew it once back at the start when it was first modified, but it was a very small model at the time. Elisa Maggie says, see, that's why I said don't change the time. Lighting is awesome. Yeah, agreed. If you're doing a flat 3 landing, do you always have to press the flat 3 on the overhead? Yes, you do. Yep. Otherwise, the GPWS will get upset. Sam J says, I just heard a familiar voice on Barcelona radar on my way from Barcelona to Gatwick. Forgot about the live stream. Excellent, Sam. Well, thanks for joining us now. Okay. So we can get up to 5,900 feet now, so let's do it. 5.9.
279, reduce minimum clean speed.
Minimum clean, Simwings 279. Okay. So easy way to do that. Approach phase, it has. So we'll go manage speed, and that will take us to green dots. That's our minimum clean, and we can actually see the traffic in front now on TCAS, which is great. And it seems to be flying the arc. There's our 20-mile arc. So I want to see 20 stay here. It will go a little bit closer, a little bit out. That's absolutely fine. Just going to turn on some of the integral lighting on here, and then the overhead panel. Excellent news. Lauren V says, the stream just refreshed, went live. I was running slightly behind in case it started buffering again, and everything seems perfect now though. YouTube is behaving? Maybe. Fingers crossed.
Barcelona, centro, Eco Charlie, Julius Bravo Lima, establecido a nivel de vuelo.
Charlie Julius Bravo Lima está en contacto radar.
100 con usted.
Charlie Julius Bravo Lima está en contacto radar. La pista es la 06 izquierda y notifica en final, descenso 3000 pies.
Okay, here we go then. There's 19.9. They have done wonders to get this fly the arc. It seems to be working. 4.6 tons of fuel, loads of fuel in case you have to go around. And we can get out to 5.9 quite safely here. I'm just going to do it in open descent because with the speed back, got a nice casual rate of descent, no problem here. So let's finish our checklist. QNH 1019 is set. 421, sorry, 412 barrow is set for the minima, and engine mode selector is normal.
720 contact Bordeaux on 125.1. Bye.
Going to Bordeaux on 125.
Fly guy, good to see you. Thanks for coming along. Danny Roble, thanks so much for your $5 donation. Really appreciate it. Danny says, still enjoying the streams though. It's not that you've been streaming for over 10 years or something. The channel and live streams are still quite new. Sometimes it goes as planned, sometimes not. YouTube is sometimes annoying. It will be fine for sure. Thanks so much, Danny. Really appreciate that. Very kind. You supported the channel so much, and thank you so much for your very kind donation. Really, really appreciate it, and I hope you're doing very well. See that? I zoomed the other way and it went in. 25 miles to go, and we are at 6, so we need 18. So that's good. 5.9 from here. No problem. I might start slowing down a bit.
Iberia 0630, contacto 2525, adiós.
2525, Iberia 0630, gracias, chao.
Right, there's speed up star. 5.9 is all we can do from here. Ed Islam, thanks so much for your £10 donation. Really appreciate it, Ed. Ed said hasn't donated in a while, but there's been some great streams and tutorials recently. Thank you so much for taking the time to create them. Nice to see you support Simwings too. Thank you, Ed. Really kind. Really appreciate it. Yeah, you've been very generous. No need to donate as always. Look at that, absolutely beautiful out there. Let's get those landing lights on. Seatbelt signs are on. But yeah, really, really kind. I think I'm going to do flap 1 now just to slow it down for that turn. So flaps 1. Yeah, thank you, Ed, for that £10 donation. And again, you don't have to donate, but yeah, really appreciate it. Right, it hasn't tuned the ILS, which is a bit disappointing, so I'm going to put that in myself. 110.3. There it goes. And we're clear for the approach. I'm going to arm it and arm that. There's Lock Star, Cat 3 single. It will be, oh, it shouldn't go to Cat 3 Jordan until it's below 5,000 on the rad out, but that's a tiny bit of trivia. I'm going to get to flaps 2 now. Flaps up star, flaps 2, just to, we're going to get to slow down behind this traffic in front anyway, and I don't want to go down the glide slope clean. Nice headwind though. There's the runway appearing in front. Quite an aggressive inset, but yeah, thank you so much, Ed. Really, really kind, and I hope you're doing very well. 4,000 feet, go in altitude, can go in the window. The real Airbus is very good. It wouldn't left and right the wings like this. It's so stable. Let's not mess up the controller though. Let's keep a steady speed. So I'm going to do 170. I don't want to go any slower unless and then he can tell us to speed up or slow down. Let me start the flight recorder. That's recording. Yeah, so thank you again, Danny, for your $5 donation. Really appreciate it, and I'm glad you've been enjoying the streams. And thanks for your kind message, and as well to Ed. Really appreciate it as well. Jonathan says, "Imagine that scenery in VR." Yeah, that would be good. From that, I've tried VR in the Stearman. Talk about that in my upcoming video. But yeah, I haven't used VR in a long time, but it's so good. It's so good. Look at that view. Again, this is something that hasn't been in simulators. Change approach, Simwings 279. It hasn't been. They haven't captured the atmosphere as perfectly as this ever, and now it's just getting so good, so good. And this is why we just love flying. Lauren V says, people are definitely coming back just in time. I can see the viewer numbers increasing quickly. Yeah, yeah, we got back to our 200, which is great. Nicola says, it's interesting it didn't tune the ILS. It did the same to me. Yeah, I don't know if it's because I changed things around a bit. No worries, Ed. Seems like the chat's caught up, which is good. Look at that. Just glorious. So here's the terrain we're coming in over, which is all shown on the chart, hence the 5,900 feet restriction, but we're very visual. We're going to get close to these hills over here. Anyway, what we don't want to do now is forget to slow down. So we're at 170 knots. Let's just dim the screens a little bit. 170 knots. So with a headwind like this, 7 miles, I'm going to put gear down. Let me just check the DME actually matches the runway, 11.6. Yeah. So 7 miles, it'll be fully configured, or at least slowing down. The Harmony says, any plans on flying in India? We have some beautiful Delhi and Mumbai freeway scenery. Oh, for X-Plane. Yeah, I'll have to have a look. I'm not very good at freeway scenery in X-Plane, but we haven't flown to India yet. That's a good point. Yeah. Right. Here we go. So I've got the recorder running, which is good. So we're getting a few bumps off these hills in front. There's the radio altimeter coming to life. So about 1,000 foot of terrain beneath us, but we can see the airport's basically at sea level. Oh, my mouse is zooming in and out like that. It's very disappointing, but there we go. I need to do a video on the hydraulics as well, because that's now been modelled, which is crazy.
Is it for
just excellent.
India Tango India 1.
I don't know if you guys are still interested. The only thing is, it's I'm usually pretty late with these things. Like this has been on the development version for a little while, so I'm sure some other YouTubers will have already covered it. So I don't know if you guys still want me to make a video on it. But I like to think I can sometimes provide a bit of as we always say, extra context that you can't get, or that's harder to get unless you've used it.
Barcelona radar, very good evening.
The altitude here below the screen is the radio altitude. So we're 2,500 feet above sea level based on barometric pressure. We are 1,900 feet above the actual ground beneath us. This number can even go up on approach, as it just did, as that terrain goes away beneath us. There's 7 miles, so I'm going to go to manage speed and let it slow down. At 6 miles, I'll drop the gear if it hasn't slowed down. Lights are on. Good stuff. So there's 6 miles, we're still not back at 160, so that's it then, gear down. Oh, what I haven't done, I used this, I did the flaps using the old buttons. There we go. I've moved the lever now. So let's go to flaps 3.
Approach, runway 25 left, Bisba, 1 whiskey arrival.
Let's arm those ground spoilers. There they are. Get the last lights on.
25 left.
And we're going to go to flaps full. Landing checklist, cabin is secured. Auto thrust is in speed mode. Going altitude 4,000 feet set. ECAM memo is landing.
Again, 4955 negative, check your text.
No blue. So landing check is complete. So we're just waiting for clearance now. Thanks, Checkpoint. Checkpoint says, I appreciate your view as you compare it with the real aircraft. Great to get the feedback. Okay, thanks, Checkpoint. They're stable, so we are stable. We're just waiting for clearance. Is there a plane on the runway ahead? Yes, there is, so we'll just wait. James says, would love to see your take on explaining the flight plan as it's displayed on paper and inputting fuel and weight. Okay, thanks for that. That's a good one. You might hear the FO. John Padford would like to see a video on hydraulics. Yours one's always the most informative. Okay, thanks, John. Yeah, really appreciate it. And Ed says as well, hydraulic one. Okay, great. Thanks, guys.
I got it. Bisba, 1 whiskey.
Alpine 35 Lima Sierra, lady check.
Did land, runway 10, Simwings 279. There we go, we'll just take that. We did hear it.
3 per kilo, taxi via Delta, stand 33. Bye-bye.
People would like the hydraulics. Okay, thanks, guys. Right, let's go ahead and try out a landing. We've missed all our opportunity for excuses, but there we go. I can see the FO about to come and join us, which is not ideal. Autopilot off. There we go. Apologies for that. I don't know if that was a subscription or donation, but I have missed it. So this is where it gets a little bit sensitive. Just keep it steady as we can. Fully configured. 3 whites, but the glide slope shows us about spot on. I don't. There we go. 2 whites to reds. And then immediately getting low. The glide slope goes very sensitive around here. If you can hear the FO complaining, she's absolutely fine. She just does this when she needs attention. She makes it sound like it's the end of the world. This is a bit up and down. Let's keep it more stable. 30 feet into the flare. Idle. Hold it here. There's touchdown. Get those reversers out. Bit of a left and right wobble, but idle reverse will be fine. Get the nose wheel down. And we've got reverse screen and decel. Now I can't see what the screen shows you guys because my streamer feedback isn't working at all. So you'll have to tell me how that went. Yeah, you guys can hear the cat. Right, let's go manual brakes. We're through 70 knots. Is that working? Yeah, I think it is. No, it's not. It's not taking over from the brakes. That's interesting. Okay, I turn those off. Interesting. So with the hardware, it doesn't like that. There you go. Oh, it says butter. Is it? What did it come out as? Lauren V says, cats always want attention when your hands are too busy for them. It's a law. Yeah, it is. It's just how they work. 98 was it? There we go. Lauren V says, very nice indeed. Beautifully into the sunset. Yeah, I absolutely love the look of the simulator right now. So there we go. That was our flight in the Simwings support livery. Fantastic livery, fantastic course. There's a colleague coming in.
Simwing 279, bagating taxi Delta, stand 31.
Delta, stand 31, Simwings 279. Thanks so much for your controlling today. Right.
Bye.
Let's stop here. The air traffic isn't on the runway behind us. Let's just bring up the charts.
Shanx 5 Paul Zulu, you are on my space for Unicom.
Charlie, oh well, he said Delta, so Charlie, Delta.
You can monitor Unicom 1228.
So that's just basically the first entrance. So let's release the brakes. Let's get going left. Delta, and we just want stand 3, 9. Over there. Okay, we can do that. Yeah, the cat is. She's a Siamese cat, so she has the ability to be very, very loud, and she makes it sound like the absolute end of the world when she wants it to. I love taxiways at night with just the blue lights. Oh no! Come on, airplane! Turn, 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 turn. Nothing to see there. There we go. Thanks for your subscriptions. That was. What is going on here? Why am I?
Alpine 35 Lima Sierra, affirmative.
Okay, that seems to be working out. Okay, great. Thanks to the EasyJet for the message. Okay, yeah, now we can disarm those ground spoilers. What I'm going to do actually is turn on the floodlights. Yes, hello. She's joining us as you can hear. This is the loudest she's ever been, I think, on stream. So disarm the ground spoilers. Flaps to 0. It's below 30 degrees. Let's get that APU up and running. Oh, but of course, we're not going to do any of this. We're going to put those back because, of course, we are going to do the replay very shortly.
Check your test.
Have I missed Delta? I think we're okay. Anyway, we're off the runway now, so we'll look at the lighting. Just stunning. Strobe lights can go there. Actually, we'll leave it all on. You wouldn't do this in real life, but yeah. John Pepper says, nothing to see here, straight from the flight deck, sort of flying. Yeah, absolutely, it is indeed. Kirill says, is she on heat? My cat sounded like that when she was fired up. No, she's not. No, she's complaining because she's not had enough attention. Yeah, so she's marching around. I literally use driving pedals to the rudder, says Naze. Yeah, nice. James, thank you so much for your £10 donation. Really appreciate it, James. James says, thanks for another awesome stream for great cause too. Sorry I couldn't follow due to the crash. This is Summer Pint for you and a packet of Dreamies for the FO. Take care. Yeah, she does love Dreamies. So thank you so much, James. Really appreciate it. The FO appreciates it as well. And thank you again. You've supported the channel so much today. Really, really appreciate it. I hope you're doing very well. And yeah, thank you very much. I will enjoy my part of that treat very soon. Thanks, Paddy. Glad you like the stream. Rode out technical difficulties and feline difficulties like a true pro. Thank you, Paddy. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm glad we got through that. Disappointing. Hopefully that's a one-off and we'll be back soon anyway, streaming. I've got a few exciting projects, a few videos coming this week, a few different things. So 320 content is always in the works, of course. But yeah, we've got some other things to go and enjoy. And very shortly we'll have the replay. So let me actually... no, I'll park up and then we'll stop the replay. Now, nothing's labelled very well here. I don't want to get too excited about it. So we will... Oh, we can't go there. We'll go for the next one. So there will be a replay indeed. And thank you all for sticking with it, because this has been... You know, it's you guys that this is tough for, really. I still see the stream, or see the simulator running smoothly. Now, you wouldn't have all your lights on at this point. What I am going to do is disconnect from VATSIM. The controllers have done a fantastic job looking after us. I'll leave the lights on because we're about to go to our replay, of course, parking brake set. And I can't tell you how much this, you know, with this lighting and everything, this looks just like the real deal. Just fantastic. And thank you for your subscriptions. Right, it's time for the replay. Let me stop recording. Replay. Give it a chance to catch up. That's pretty tough on the simulator. I know it doesn't like doing that. So let's put the gear up. I don't know how the hardware is going to interfere with this. Hopefully it works. So let's zoom to the final. Oof, there's some strange noises. Simwings Support Project says awesome stream. Thanks, Simwings Support, and thank you to you guys for the hard work you've done. And I, yeah, again. Hopefully some people watching this will get either kindly donate or perhaps be suitable candidates for it. Right, let me see if I can get a view. Let's see that landing from the outside. The gear's up, that's no good. So we'll let that gear travel down. Okay, right. So here's the landing. Si, thank you very much. Si says, thanks for watching. Thanks for today again, watching your videos, keeping me busy till it's on the Xbox. Excellent. Yeah, I don't have an Xbox. I've been looking to see if I should get one, maybe make videos with it, but they haven't been available, and I think it'd be the same, obviously, so I haven't done that. Right, here's the landing then. That up elevator is obviously not quite right. Into the flare. It was a little bit of a float, but we had a nice long touchdown zone. Bit wonky, so started the rudder. And there's the touchdown. And then the spoilers come out, the reverses go. I have to do that manually while doing the replay. And the rollout. All worked out just fine, I think. So let us, before I try and do that again, because the simulator is not too impressed, put those speed brakes up, reverses up, okay. Jump into the wing view, and it's time for the replay and the finale music. So I do struggle to time this right. Let's go from here. And I'm going to say to you guys, thank you all so much for coming along today. I really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. It sounds like you have, which is great news. I've really enjoyed it. And thank you for putting up with the technical difficulties we've had today. Hopefully we won't have that next time. More streams and more videos with different things coming up very soon, which I'm excited about. So I hope you enjoy those, and I hope you've enjoyed the videos I put up earlier this week. Thank you to those of you who kindly donated. Really appreciate it. You've been very generous. Thank you to those who donated towards the Simwings support project as well. And of course, anyone who's been watching along at home, really appreciate it. Anyone who's joined in the chat, really appreciate it as well. And yeah, we will see you again very soon in another live stream or video. Thank you all so much. Do keep safe and well, and bye-bye.